Wake up, gamers, cause you're listening to Big Think Dimension with KZ Excellent,
I'm optimistic about things.
Dan and Bob Video Games,
You see that mountain? You can fuck another man on that mountain.
and Mr. Feel
Lords of Shadow is a bad game.
here on GigaBoots.
Has the show started yet?
Yeah, it actually just started with you saying
We
that.
do these cold opens now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
confusing.
go. Thank you, Phil, for opening the podcast for us.
God damn it.
You played yourself. Here, we were talking about your fetishes. And then suddenly the podcast began.
Don't be ridiculous. None of you know nothing.
And I know your likes, and boy, ugh.
That's nothing.
Can we not start on this vector?
Right, please, KZ. Why do this?
We came here to talk about video games, not miscreants.
Then fucking push the podcast toward that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just abruptly go into, hey, Bob, what have you been playing?
I played a few things.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I played more of the Call of Duty beta.
Oh, nice.
I want to talk about a few of the things that were I noticed I didn't talk about last time.
Mm-hmm.
This game seems to have a lot of focus on using light and dark areas. So when you go from like a bright area into a dark place, you can't see for a second. Like it takes a little while for your eyes to adjust.
Okay, yeah.
So it has a lot of
It has good lighting.
it has
and
the good
proper
lighting, but that
dynamic range
and
to
that-
it, yeah.
that does affect the gameplay a good bit because a lot of areas will be like, well, there's a shadow here, so a guy can hide there, and it works.
That's cool. I love camping.
They also added opening and closing doors.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, which you can run.
I did that.
They can-
I did that in a match. I was like, I closed the door. This game's epic.
You can, if you run into the door, it'll auto open and make like a loud noise, but you can like hold the open button and it quietly opens it.
Is the loud noise like a public domain sound effect?
It might as well be. It's like a
It's
huge
just
play.
that it's that like Windows logging off effect.
Do I have to add in a sound effect of a door opening?
Yes, it's the sound bite they used to play when people logged out of AOL.
Oh my god, it's not that.
The
Okay.
instant
Thank
messenger
you
door
for saying
cloud.
the exact one. I'll pull that.
And I also got to try the new mode, which is a Battlefield, basically. It's called a ground war. It's like 60 players,
Oh, wow.
30 v 30, and you're taking over points. And it's a large area. You get plane, or you
Is it
get
good
choppers.
Battlefield or bad Battlefield?
It takes a while to
Wait
figure
a
that
second.
out.
Wait a second. You said there are vehicles?
Yeah, they're vehicles. You get choppers, you get little Humvees and tanks, everything like that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat to see them tackle this and be like, oh, well, there's not even a Battlefield out this year, and this is probably better than last year's Battlefield.
God, they're
Wow,
gonna eat.
they're burying the shit out of them.
No, they're gonna eat Dice's lunch.
Like they've been eating
Yeah.
Dice's lunch for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Even that year where they're like, this is Battlefield 1, and people weren't super hyped about Call of Duty that year, it still stomped Battlefield's ass.
Yeah, no, it's
We're at the point where it's just like Dice is having their head slammed into the pavement and Bob is crying, telling Activision that Dice is already dead.
So how is the mode exactly? Like, is it good?
yeah, it seems good. It's really hard to just in a little demo where I played like an hour to
Right.
get a good sense of like if this map design is actually solid for this kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a lot of features that we got added in later Battlefields. Even like you have a squad, so you can spawn your squad mates. You can spawn on vehicles
Oh,
that are
okay.
in transit, stuff like that.
That's good. That's important stuff.
Right. So it's not like it's a totally just
We're not
Nerf
taking it
mode.
back to 1942, where you
Right.
spawn at a point and everybody rushes the one chopper on the whole fucking boat.
yeah. The map I played did not have any planes. I don't know if there will be planes.
Some asshole's gonna be like, choppers weren't in 1942; they were added in Vietnam. Sorry.
Very important factoids.
Anyway. Cool. I'm really interested in this year's game. Hearing this mode is at all functional has made me vastly more interested.
But yeah, I'll take this over another Battle Royale mode any day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Royale.
With cheese.
Boo. I will never not think about that when you talk about Battlefield or Battle Royales.
With cheese.
Boo.
I also tried out the MediEvil demo.
Oh. I believe
How
it's
is
called the MediEvil short-lived demo.
Short-lived demo. Yeah.
How was it, Bob?
Because it's 30 seconds long.
Yeah, it's.
Uh-huh.
You know how Crash Bandicoot and Spyro,
Yeah.
those games are like ahead of their time and
They're really great.
and still fun to go back to. Still really good, like
incredibly polished.
great games in that genre.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Mhm. Yes.
MediEvil was never that.
You know, thinking about it, yes.
This game feels bad, like bad PS1 jank still. Like, I don't know. I assume this is all just stuff from the old game, but everything about the way you attack and move feels weird. It has this idea of like, if the camera's doing a full 180, it needs to fade to black and then fade in.
Instead of whipping the camera around to be behind you, and Bob showed me this, you hit a button that'll set the camera behind you. If it has to go too far, it fades to black and fades back in.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Which means in cinematography terms, that next camera angle must be occurring much later. Since it's a crossfade.
So that that demo came out what, 10 years ago? 12?
Last week. Oh wait, no, this week during the State of Play.
Yeah, it came out during the State of Play.
Yeah, the demos, it lets you play through the first area, but then just abruptly ends when you get to where the boss should be.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad. It doesn't even give you a teaser of the boss. It's just you go into the boss room and it ends.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to try and recapture the energy you would get by playing a demo in a Walmart.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid they give you like even 30 minutes.
I have to wonder if the game's just really short.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's pretty short.
I've never played I've never played the original. I always saw it in stores like, that could be neat, but never wanted to pick it up.
I think I played a demo of the original and went, that is neat, you're like a skeleton dude. But I always thought of him as like the B-tier PlayStation.
Yeah, I think it's like around the
character
length of a
mascot.
Crash Bandicoot, but that was 3 games and this is 1.
It's like, when you think about what PlayStation classic that they still own do they bring back?
Mm-hmm.
It's Halloween. So
MediEvil, not Ape Escape.
No, not Ape Escape.
God forbid.
God, I hope this isn't a fucked up test for Ape Escape.
Yes, I'm buying this then.
Insane.
That would be new tier. Like, that's more insane than Capcom usually goes.
Good job, Phil. You just made me buy a video game out of pure
Okay,
anxiety.
so you don't have to.
No, don't. I mean, you don't want to encourage them to make more of this.
I feel like
Oh no, God!
I feel like they have to know Ape Escape is a more successful and broadly appealing franchise when they made so many. Like, they made 2 sequels, 2 spin-off games, and then a bunch of other really spin-off games, like party games and RPGs and shit.
And we already got that Twitter account going. Ape Escape is safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
We can't all be Capcom with our tests.
Did you play anything else, Bob?
I also played some Jedi Outcast, which came to PS4 and Switch this week.
I saw that in new Switch releases, and I am like, man, what is happening?
So, Bob, how is what is it, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast?
Yes, I think they cut off the Dark Forces
Podcast was
finally for
filmed
this
in
one.
2002.
Okay,
Star Wars Dark Forces 3 Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, if we want to go full title. But
you should never go
don't-
full title.
I think they, even the initial release, they took away Dark Forces. They're like, we can't have it Dark Forces 3.
I can't wait for Star Wars Dark Forces 4 Jedi Knight 3 Jedi Outcast 2 Jedi Academy.
Jedi University.
Oh, man.
Back cover.
Jedi Outcast back in the day was one of my favorite Star Wars games. It still has a lot of PC early shooter jank.
Yeah, like, and this is the thing a lot of people don't realize real quick. I'm going to cover this because I think it's really important to realize this about this game. Jedi Outcast came out between Doom and Half-Life on PC. And what it meant to be a good shooter in that weird in-between period was super fucking vague. So everyone did some really, really weird shit during that time.
Right, like this is breaking down to almost like a point-and-click adventure level of, what do I do?
Yeah, don't in like the first level you have to climb on something that you would not think you're supposed to climb on.
That's every level.
And go through like a tiny little window.
Yeah.
I watched Bob do the thing you're talking about. Yeah.
It'll be complete darkness, and they're like, well, obviously you should have found the tiny hole in the complete darkness. What do you mean you blocked your path for 30 minutes? So there's lots of weird choices. The aiming is super bizarre because they're like, oh yeah, the stormtrooper rifles, they aren't very accurate because the stormtroopers always miss.
Right.
So just shoot, like, you can put your reticle directly onto the guy, and then your bolts will go like 45-degree angles around him.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. This is Star Wars. That's what would happen in Star Wars.
And it takes way too long to get to the lightsaber. I still haven't gotten there after like 2 hours of playing it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The game will insta-kill you frequently because, haha, isn't that funny?
Wouldn't it be funny if, I don't know, fuck you?
So luckily you can save anywhere. So you're constantly making save.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's quick saves, right?
Yeah.
Quick save and quick load.
Yeah, so
Does
when
that
you
system
die,
work out all right on a console? Like,
it works because you can just pause and save anywhere.
okay.
But it is a lot of, hey, anytime you're safe, save. Do it. Otherwise, you'll die in a second. If you trip or if you slightly walk off a ledge, you're just dead. And then you don't have force powers at the beginning of the game, so even falling from longer distances does hurt you.
Yeah.
So that's neat.
So you're saying
it's like Dark Souls 2 fall damage?
Something like that.
So you're saying this game aged perfectly, Bob?
Yes, definitely. It's probably still one of my favorite Star Wars games, but I'm not saying that's a high bar.
Yeah.
Doesn't this come with dismemberment turned on
Pretty sure.
by default?
Yeah, if
I think
nothing
that's
else.
weird because you had to put a code to get it in, like the original console versions way back in the day.
Oh, you never did on the PC, so I was like, what? But yeah, the PC version just started with that mess on.
Well, yeah, because if you can't dismember someone with a fucking lightsaber, then explain Luke's arm. You ever think of that?
Ding.
Ding!
Playing this game reminded me of
Luke just jerked off too much, so it fell off.
playing these games back in the day.
Neil said with his robot arm.
Oh my god.
Feel with the fucking mask like that dumbass in the new trilogy. Ray.
How do you not know his name? He's come up so much.
He's iconic.
Philo Ren.
Yes, Philo Ren. There we go.
No, this can't become a bit.
Philo Ren. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, back in the day, I had no patience for this awful shooter design, so I would often just open up the menu, like, and turn on no clip.
Yeah.
And see, like, okay, that pathway is clearly where I need to get to. Who knows what they want? And just I float up there and continue playing.
Yeah, you need to hit that id no clip and just phase through a wall. That's how you get to the next part of the game.
Sometimes that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes shooters of that specific era were very obnoxious in certain ways. Some people really like that stuff. I've never been the hugest fan, but, you know, some games are worse than others, you know?
Right. I had a huge amount of trouble getting through Doom because it's a ton of that. Like, it's a ton of what now?
Yeah, Doom's a lot of, well, scrape the ground and find a fucking, what is it?
Secret room or
No,
key
it's
card.
key cards. There we go. I was like, it's not keys. Yeah, there's a lot of key cards in.
But a lot of them are in secret rooms, so a lot of original Doom is just going,
Correct.
run across every wall.
Yeah.
That's gameplay.
I like that they took that sort of thing and put that in Dark Forces and Jedi Outcast as well. Like, you'll get to an area that is secret, but it's not like, it's just something you see and jump to in a way that you wouldn't expect, or it's not just, oh, well, this wall opens. So that's nice.
Yeah.
I only played one other thing. I wasn't even going to talk about it,
Yeah.
but I played a little bit of Borderlands 3.
Oh, God, you're talking about it. You said you wouldn't. You promised
The
me.
only thing I'm going to say about it is I got a glitch that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, no, that's pretty funny.
You please tell me you didn't buy Borderlands 3.
I just rented it.
No, he just rented
yeah,
it.
because
Okay, thank
But
God.
he told me about this glitch. It's pretty good. Tell him about it, Bob.
yeah, I'm all the way near the end of the Pandora part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
During the final mission of that, where they're actually trying to be dramatic for like the first time in the game.
Yeah, I know. It's real not great.
It's the whole time that I'm doing that mission. Claptrap for no reason. He's not involved in this mission at all.
So he's nowhere near you.
He's nowhere near me. He might be in some room, but they're in the ship or something near me, but he is not involved in the mission, period. He starts coming over the radio with tutorial messages from the first mission. And he just loops it. So he's just like, you're going to have to crouch under that. It's not that hard. Hit the crouch
And you're
button
like, what are you
walk under.
talking about? I'm in a car right now.
And he just loops it. I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, that's really great.
So this reminded me of a glitch that I got pretty early on. In the Pandora part, there's the first time they have you like use jump to climb up various little like buildings to reach like a chest of some sort. And Claptrap will tell you, you gotta climb on that. And I died, and it rolled me back like across the map, so I was driving my way back. He kept doing it. Like, you gotta climb on that. And I'm like, I'm driving half a mile away. And he said that and I counted 11 seconds. So I heard various loops of it for 5 minutes.
That's really great. That sounds like you had a great
Borderlands
time.
3 is great. I'll get back to it next week. Spoilers, I didn't play it this week.
Oh, okay. Well, that's that. I'm glad you didn't play it this week. Maybe you shouldn't play it next week.
Right? We don't need to talk
I
about
need
it
to
ever
get
again.
cultured.
But yeah, that's every game I've been playing. Who next?
I'll go next. So I went and played a little bit of The Last of Us 2. Sony had us come down to their studio and
Oh,
check
good.
it out.
What are your thoughts about that game that looks good?
There was a bunch of weird systems they walked us through very slowly and delicately, like sweat systems. And he's like, now Ellie's real sweaty and her shirt's clinging to her. This is emotional. Also, this game's about revenge. And he mostly said that part over and over again. It was like almost a mental tick where he just kept saying this game's about revenge. No, I did not actually play.
Dan, I think you accidentally went to a Team Ninja conference and had a loop on YouTube of the Last of Us director.
Oh, man, that's weird. I should stop doing drugs.
No, do more.
Are you sure you weren't just watching theory videos about how Tetsuya Nomura's revenge is everything he makes post Final Fantasy 15?
No, I wasn't watching.
That's not even a theory. That's just a fact.
I haven't watched Kingdom Hearts 3 Gamer Premonitions in a while. Why do you ask? But yeah, I actually did play some stuff on the Switch. A game that came out.
I thought you were gonna say The Last of Us 2.
No. No.
Wouldn't that be something?
Like, actually, yes.
I mean, that would have been cool, and maybe I should have tried for that. But no, I did not do that. I did not try for that. But anyway, I played some Switch games. I'm gonna talk about the one that maybe I should have played it all first.
Oh no.
I played Puzzle Quest: The Legend Returns.
What?
Puzzle Quest is a really old game.
Yeah, I remember the original Puzzle Quest.
Okay, so
I
it's
didn't know that they ever brought that shit back.
Yeah, it came out pretty recently on Switch, and the original game came out in 2007. It appears on like DS and PlayStation Portable. Oh, okay, it came out on everything in 2007, 2008. Yeah, that game, they did not touch it up basically at all for the Switch. Basically the same
I'm trying
game.
to think if there's anything. Most of it was 2D, so all they could do is like waifu that shit.
No, you can. I'm not sure if you've heard of this. You can replace graphics in an older video game with good graphics.
They're never gonna do that.
See, that's insane because I think
You're
Puzzle
expecting
Quest.
some big brain shit from a cash grab.
I'm expecting literally anything, but all this did was consolidate all the DLC, and I think it had a new DLC pack. Like they added a little bit of content onto the end, but the thing fucking hitches up non-goddamn stop on the Switch. Like, in a way that's awful. You'll go to make okay, for those who don't know what Puzzle Quest is a sort of match the gems puzzle game where the gems are actually either you doing damage, you getting gold, or you getting mana because it's an RPG. You have a character class, you level up, you buy equipment, and you're battling another person who is playing on the same board as you, and you can play against other human players, or you could just play the single player where you battle against random enemies like orcs and shit. And you will have magic spells that either do, or moves that either do damage directly to the opponent or change the playfield. That game, I played it for like 9 fucking hours. How does this happen? Man, there's a reason I don't do addictive things very often. Puzzle Quest is a very addictive game. It's sort of fun, but then eventually you just get incredibly infuriated at how random and bullshit the whole thing is. Because
is it still a blatant fucking cheater? Because somebody, back when it first came out, somebody was like, yeah, I looked at the AI and it can see the board above the board. Because when you clear gyms, new gyms fall down into the board. They were like, yeah, the AI can just see that, and that's how they set up 47 combo reactions. Yeah, just own your shit forever.
It still feels like that. You can sit there and be at a point where the board will only have 3 valid moves on it. You'll assess each thing and the threat they present fully, and then go, okay, here's the safest option. I'm going to go with that. And you do that, and immediately it sets up the enemy for like some 7 chain. Like, it's the most ridiculous shit in the world. This game's so goddamn broken.
I'm kind of surprised they brought this back, because I was under the impression Puzzles and Dragons just took a knife to Puzzle Quest's throat.
I mean, it basically did. I mean, not only that, what was the sequel called, Bob? Space Quest?
Oh, I forgot they did that. I just remember Puzzle Quest 2, which I'm surprised.
Why would you change the brand name?
Oh, Puzzle Quest Galactrix?
There we go.
Oh, okay, that's a little bit less stupid.
Yeah, it's a little bit less stupid, but it's still fucking unreal.
Yeah, Space Quest doesn't tell me what it is besides a quest for space.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but oh god. Also, Puzzle Quest 2 existed, as was just referenced. If I recall,
Tetris 2.
They changed. Yeah, it has a real Tetris 2 energy, if I remember correctly.
Oh god,
something about it. I don't know. Maybe I should give that game a chance. Our channel's all about that, you know.
You're giving Detroit a chance right now.
Yeah, that's coming along. I'm really glad people are getting to see the insanity and delight of our Let's Play, because we recorded all of that, what is effectively 2 weeks ago now? It doesn't feel that long because I barely had time to do anything since then, such as the life of Dan. But, flying out to that The Last of Us 2 event really just took all my free time this week.
Yeah, it's too bad Bob couldn't go, but the invite only is like one per outlet.
Yeah, and that's why they were like, no, we want the funny one, and I'm like, okay, I'll get Bob, and they're like, no, I mean you, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
Before we like move on past Puzzle Quest, I just want to talk. This isn't even related to Puzzle Quest, but it's related to bad games that may or may not be on phones.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom got an iPad.
Yeah.
Like, she got a big, nice iPad, like a 14-inch one or whatever the big one is.
Oh, that's cool. 12.9.
And she doesn't play games at all, but she got into like tablet games now. So I go to visit, and she sets her pad down, and my eyes like bug out because it's fucking Noctis, and she's playing that We Are Under Attack, My Lord's Final Fantasy 15 game.
Oh my god.
That thing's
Final
still
Fantasy
supported?
15, A New Empire. One of the worst mobile games I've ever seen.
Like, my eye, she was like, what? And I was like, oh, nothing, because I just did this double take because it's just a huge picture of Noctis on the like continue screen.
That game's real bad, where it's like, you attack this slime with this lavish 3D animation. All right, now wait 5 minutes or pay us $10, then you can attack it again.
What a nightmare. I did not get to try that Mario Kart that's out on the iPhone. It may also be out on Android. I don't keep track of that because I have an iPhone.
Season pass?
Yeah, I heard some weird shit.
Season pass?
I heard some weird shit about that. I haven't checked it out. I hope to check that out before next week. Unfortunately, we were not able to arrange the Snacks for Reviews deal with Dylan yet for mobile phone games.
What a fucking shame I won't have to edit another track on here.
That's okay. It's fine. We'll just get her to send in a yak back each week. Yeah, so I played another game. I think this may be the only other game I played this week because so I played 3 games. The third one's not going to come out in time for this podcast, so I'll talk about it on next week's podcast. But this game just came out. It's called Barry Bradford's Putt Panic Party. It is a putt-putt golf game that is up to 4 players.
I have a funny aside.
Okay.
KZ was up for like 26 hours at one point.
Yes.
And he saw your tweet about playing a golf game. And he's like, I want to play a golf game. And I woke up the next day unaware that I apparently tried to buy it.
Oh.
And I look and I'm like, why the fuck do I have the SNK arcade golf game on here? What happened?
What?
That game's good.
Yeah, well, I own that now. I apparently bought it while sleep deprived. Don't remember the act of buying it. But thank you, Dan. Basically tied to you.
I played a golf game and you bought a golf game, so I guess it's my fault?
The order of events. PEMDAS.
But yeah, Barry Bradford's Putt Panic Party. It's a golf game, mini golf, where you do putting only, but everybody putts simultaneously, and you putt the second the timer runs down. So when you do 4-player, it's actually really fun. Single player, it's all right, because, it's just goofy golf setups. You got, like, tubes going in random directions. You got ramps and shit. Pretty fun game. Full disclosure, my voice is in it.
Oh.
Full disclosure, we're kind of friends with
Did you do CVS bangers in golf?
No, not yet. Who knows? Maybe he'll update the game.
Oh God.
But yeah, friend of the channel Thomas Hopper made this game. And wanted some voices, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out with some lines. That game's pretty fun. I enjoy it. And people should know that we're usually pretty honest on whether or not we enjoy a Thomas Hopper game. We've done quick plays of a lot of his stuff, and some of it just doesn't click. But yeah, no, that game I actually enjoyed. Me and Tosh played it. She thought it was fun. We may have a video coming out on that sometime in the next weekish, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to say that's all I played. I played Puzzle Quest and felt disgusting for hours straight, as I couldn't stop playing, because at no point did I feel like, this is a satisfying conclusion to me playing Puzzle Quest. I'm finally done. No, I just kept playing.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, not
When are they going to stop fucking around with golf games like this and remasker Nabisco Candy Stand Golf?
I have never heard of this. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's an ancient Shockwave browser game that I feel like everybody at a certain age knows, because it was like one of the few sites you could get to through like school content blockers. It was just a little mini golf game.
You sent me on a journey by saying Shockwave Flash. I'm like, yeah, I played a lot of Cartoon Network games in my youth.
There's a little mini golf game about themed on Nabisco products.
Whenever I hear Shockwave Flash, I think of the earliest Flash cartoons on the internet and the earliest Flash games on the internet, and how they used to have like a thing you would download and install on your system to play the games natively on your system. And they still ran like shit because Macromedia Flash has never run well ever.
Allegedly.
Hey, Bob.
What's up?
You remember that Flash cartoon Heavy Metal Guy?
Yeah, of course.
Of course you do.
It was probably not actually
I'm trying,
funny.
nah.
That's not what's important, Bob.
No,
the important thing is to just say things that people listening to this might remember, and it will just make them physically ill to remember. Just this gut-wrenching feeling of, oh, fuck, I do.
Remember how they did an extra season of the Critic only available on Shockwave Flash?
Yes, I remember the Critic webisodes.
Shut the fuck up. What is happening?
Yeah, the Critic webisodes. You didn't know about that? It actually is Jay Sherman's like original voice actor of John Lovitz.
Oh, wait. I vaguely remember these because I remember them looking like shit.
They did look like shit.
They were bad in every way.
They're on YouTube now, so you can watch that on YouTube. What the fuck do you mean the Critic webisodes 7 through... Wait, what? Excuse me, what? How many webisodes did they make?
Oh no.
This doesn't make sense. This can't be right.
Are they like a minute and a half or something?
They're 3.5.
Yeah, they're like
minutes.
3 minutes each.
Yeah, they made 10. I guess.
That
I
sounds
remember
right.
10.
Where they're
10.
they're so small.
Yeah, 10 sounds right. But yeah, no, man, yes, I remember that, Bob. I wish I didn't, but I do. That came out while we were just starting high school.
Could be worse. Could be butt ugly Martians.
Please don't talk about butt ugly Martians.
And then that's. So I'm not gonna talk about Puzzle Question or anything else anymore. KZ, what did you play?
Let's see. The main thing that I played this week was Link's Awakening, because the remake of that came out last Friday. I finished it this morning. This is my first time playing Link's Awakening, and I've also played very little 2D Zelda at all. So this was an extra fresh experience. I decided that, with all of those factors in, I should just play it on hard mode just cause. So I did that. That game's hard.
Yeah, I read
Yeah,
what hard mode did, and I was like, I don't want to do any of that. That doesn't sound fun. It's because all it does
They're
is...
like, hearts don't drop on anything, and you don't get full health back when you come back once you start getting containers. It's like a percentage or something. So, like, for example, toward the end of the game, I had 16 hearts, and it would just give me 10 back if I died. But aside from that, it got better, because there's, like, later in the game, you get access to the color dungeon, which I guess was from the Game Boy Color release of that game.
Yeah.
And that gives you different tunics, and one of them is just defense.
And yeah, taking double damage all the way through a Zelda game sounds awful.
Yeah, that made the hard, the harder aspect of the game a lot more, doable. This game's really dense and very compact. Like, from what I could tell, they didn't really change anything at all from the original. Like, even down to how everything is spaced out when it comes to, the areas you're running through. So they're filled with enemies and obstacles, and you don't really have a really fast default run or anything like that. So it just makes it have a really nice pace to just exploring and fighting enemies that I think worked really well. This game runs bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like, I played this too.
Oh.
Yeah, so what they decided to do is, one, the art style looks really, really nice, but they decided to put a filter on the overworld where there's vignetting around the screen that, like, applies what looks like a blur, so that stuff on the edges just looks a little bit blurrier. And I have to assume that's the reason that anytime you go across a screen in this game, there's slowdown and the game chugs.
Oh, it's streaming in new assets, and since one of the worst bottlenecks, the two worst bottlenecks on the Switch aren't actually the GPU, it's the memory bandwidth and the CPU, and both of those get hard hit like a motherfucker when you're streaming in new areas on the map. The only area where that's not the reason is the swamp, where everything's getting hit hard on the swamp for some reason.
The alpha layers.
Yeah, the swamp is like one of the areas you like touch the least after you've gone through it once.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But when I was there, I was like, this is... Playing it in portable mode, I didn't notice the drops and the stuff as much. But then playing it on TV, I'm like, man, you did it. You found a way to make a 2D Zelda run worse than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I was joking with Stan of like, this Breath of the Wild is an absolutely amazing, like, a new way for a game to be set up. And runs kind of bad because of it.
Right.
Zelda Link's Awakening runs about as well. It is a classic style Zelda game, which is insane.
It runs about as well as Breath of the Wild, but is a classic Zelda game, is the sentence you're meaning to say.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because saying it runs about as well as a classic Zelda game means 60.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a pretty crazy. That game looks visually really great, but it just runs like garbage, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't notice nearly as many frame drop stuff in Breath of the Wild. Like, there are obvious parts, like in the starting area, the Korok Force was abysmal at launch.
Yeah.
Where it would, like, drop really low, but then they, like, patched it and made the game run a little bit better.
I mean,
this,
Breath of the Wild.
if you're in the overworld, every
30.
couple of minutes you'll be reminded that this game is not running well.
Don't worry. Somebody told me once that it doesn't matter how badly third-party games run on the Switch, because first-party games always run great.
Yep, this doesn't change
You
that at
must
all.
have gotten really mad by that guy.
I think it's weird that I feel like Yoshi ran way better, and Yoshi has a similar art style to it.
Yeah, Yoshi did run way better. I think it also ran in a lower resolution, but it did run way better.
Right?
But yeah, no, Breath of the Wild is like locked 30. So, you know.
Isn't it only locked 30 in portable?
No, it's just locked 30. And the patches post-launch updated it so that
This
way
is,
it runs.
I believe, trying to do 60 and then shitting and falling over itself all the time.
Yeah, no, it keeps. The thing is, it's double buffer VSync on the new one, so it either is running at 60 or it is running at 30, and it wildly swings between the two. Whereas Breath of the Wild
Yes.
at least got updated enough where it runs smoothly eventually. Like, what's it, patch 1.11 on Breath of the Wild looks fucking like it's locked 30, whereas the original game was 22. So they made that game run better. Here's to hoping they can make this game run better. I hope.
Please.
That would be great.
Yeah, I feel like some patches, will iron out a little bit of this stuff. I don't think it'll make it perfect, but it'll make it so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of why I
people
stopped
picking up the
playing
game a couple of months from now
It was
will be in a better spot.
can just wait and see if they do fix this up.
Yeah.
Also, I want to get out there that this game, for some reason, doesn't let you use the D-pad to move, and you only move in 8 directions.
Yeah, also
total.
the 8-directional movement, Bob.
Yeah, that's insane.
Which
It's
is
eight-
weird because A Link Between Worlds was more than 8 directions.
Yeah, it was full 3D movement. It was great.
Well,
very strange.
Dan, they have to let you attach a fucking Wii remote or whatever the fuck to this. Or whatever stupid fucking controller option they have to make this compatible with, like
But I don't
fucking
think every
3D world.
controller for the Switch has an analog stick.
Yeah, I don't think there is any control or dumb controllers this works with.
In fact, if they let the D-pad fucking work, I could use a Super NES controller to play this game, but they don't let the D-pad work, and that bummed me out. Not saying that I've tried that yet. I haven't had time to play it. I've owned it since launch, and I haven't had fucking time to play it.
So, I think
maybe
the dungeons obviously run great. There's no problems there at all.
It still
So,
runs poorly.
some-
Don't listen to Casey.
Yeah, right.
I played through the dungeons and noticed significantly less problems.
It's not as bad. It's not good.
Okay,
Did you do any of the dungeon building?
Yeah, did you do that?
I did not.
Well, you gotta build your dungeons, Casey, so that way you can put it on an amiibo and mail that to us for our new series.
Don't make.
We
Stop
play your
talking
Zelda
about that.
dungeons.
I
you're
actually
just gonna.
Oh, man.
What's the shittiest Zelda amiibo?
they're
I don't even have a
they're
Zelda
all thought
amiibo.
after.
I have to buy a Zelda amiibo for a bit.
Yeah, no, the Zelda
I guess-
amiibos are
I
all
get-
really good.
Could you do it with one of those fake amiibos that you make with the tags you buy on Amazon?
You could probably
Probably.
do. Yeah, you could probably do that. Someone's probably got the info out there needed to do that. Probably.
Because I have a drawer full of flashcard amiibos I made with those tags.
Oh, that's cool. Man,
So-
we actually could do that series then.
But yeah, the dungeons I thought were really, really good in this. Like, there's a good mix of plenty of different stuff to do. They give you, they give you all the new tools as you're going through each one, and each one felt fresh. It didn't feel like it was going through the motions throughout any of them. I think I reached the 7th dungeon, and that was the one that was too much for my brain. Because that one did a lot of stuff of go down to this floor, drop down here, and then this will put you in the right position for this thing. There's a lot of like height level stuff.
Yeah.
And that one was a little bit difficult. Mostly because you have to drop down a portion of the dungeon with support beams, and that's the only one that took me longer than it should have. But aside from that, everything was pretty solid. Like, I think the story was pretty good. I am surprised I had no idea what that story was until now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, the Link's
a good
Awakening
story.
is really good. Like, it's probably my favorite
Mhm.
Did you
2D
enjoy
Zelda.
the skeleton dungeon?
I guess the one where the skeleton like pops
Is
out a few
hassling
times.
you.
Yeah, I like that where he's like, fuck, I can't beat you. I'm gonna leave. And then he comes
One of my
back
favorite
and it's the
parts of
exact
Link's
same
Awakening.
fucking fight every time.
Hey, don't get down on that, KZ. Certain big budget games that came out last year did that.
The Order
Mhm.
1876 did not come out last year. 1776, I forgot.
There we go.
Isn't it 1886?
Who knows?
I think it's 1886.
The Order, 3 hours long.
Still uses the same boss fight twice.
Yeah.
Sorry. 4 hours.
Yeah, The Order
Man.
1886, the 4-hour PlayStation 4 exclusive from 2015.
I will point out that the a-directional movement was a little bit hard to get adjusted to at the end of the game, where they want you to use your items to like shoot things from a distance, and shooting diagonals is a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be easy if they let you use the D-pad.
Could you even shoot
Yeah.
diagonally in the original? I can't imagine.
No,
you
the
could.
original's locked to four directional aiming, of course, because they only had 4 sprites moving up, down, left, right. But you know,
I got a good amount of the game done. Also, shout out to I guess the developers Grezzo for deciding that yes, we will in fact add physics to the claw machine game.
Yeah, I saw you having an aneurysm about that.
The claw machine theme's
It's-
vicious.
There are some items that are small enough to fit through the gaps in the claw, so it's like you did it right, but fuck you.
it's realistic.
Also, I've seen it be completely
They
insane
dinged it.
where it picks it up, it pulls them to the top, and then for no reason, all the items fly in different directions.
Bethesda rules.
Yeah. So it's real physics until it goes real
You're right,
wrong.
sometimes this game does run like a Bethesda game. You are absolutely right about that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not too much to say besides it's really good. If this ran at a stable frame rate the entire time, I'd probably give it like a 9. I have basically no problems with it.
Link's Awakening is a great game. I think you can make a very strong argument it's the best Zelda game. Is Wart still in this game?
Yeah. I freaked out. I had no idea Wart was in this game, but he's in
Because
this game.
I saw Chain Chomps and I saw SimCity Man, so I
Yeah,
was like, I guess they kept everything, but I hadn't seen Wart yet.
yeah, he gives you a song.
And do they still have the horrible little Kirby doppelgangers?
Yes.
They're great.
They have all of the various references of other stuff because I kept finding plenty of stuff like SimCity Man getting catfished.
Did you ever try
Pretty
stealing from the shop, KZ?
You can do that?
Yes, because what you do is you pick up the item and you can run around behind him and out the door faster than he can turn around.
Yeah, you
Right.
should
But that
try
does
that
two
right
things.
after this
Yeah,
podcast.
don't tell
Yeah,
him
I'm
what
not-
it is.
Yeah,
I
you
won't.
should just try that right after this podcast, KZ. See how that goes.
I should have done that when I was like, man, I need to grind rupees to be able to afford this 1,000 rupee bow and arrow.
Yeah, it's a very good tactic.
I mean, hey man, if you need something and can't afford it, was that all you played this week?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hey Phil,
Yeah.
what you been playing?
So instead of playing Legend of Zelda, I decided to play Legend of Mana again
Yeah, I saw that.
because I had submitted it to your PS1 Retro Roulette last week.
Yeah.
I submitted a good
Man.
PS1 game that was very good and led to only happiness in Dan's life.
Yeah, you sure did.
Thankfully, all the ad revenue from that is now going directly to Aerosmith. Thanks, KZ.
Do you want to give Steven Tyler your information?
I told YouTube, I was like, this is bullshit. That's a 20-second sound clip in the middle of an 8-hour stream. That is part of a video game, and this thing is an exploration of that video game. And they said, that's not good enough. You can resubmit this, but then you might get a copyright claim. YouTube's a great platform. So how was Legend of Mana feel?
It's okay. I'll pick a better game next time.
Well, I learned a lot of things about the game this time that I didn't know before, like the fact that skill system is psychotic.
Oh, yeah?
That sounds like Legend of Mana.
Yeah, no, that sounds a lot like The Legend of Mana.
The way I always thought it worked was that it was by usage, and it just kept track of how many times you use the skills like jump and lunge and retreat.
That would make sense.
And when you did them enough, it like flipped a flag and gave you the skill that was those two skills combined if you had that for both. No, skills have invisible experience and a separate experience system from the protagonist.
What affects it?
And it's not, if you have the skill equipped, you don't have to use it at all. It gets 1 experience for every fight and 4 for every boss fight. And once you hit a specific number that's anywhere from 1 to 100, it's different for every single skill and special move.
Of course.
You now qualify for whatever. So to get high jump, jump has to have 11 experience and crouch has to have 8.
And you have no idea when you max something out, I'm sure.
No, it only goes up to 100, but you have no idea. This is all invisible.
Of course.
I also am learning more about the how like Legend of Mana has like days of the week and mana levels for every single area, and these determine what quests you can get and the enemies that show up. But luckily you don't have to know about any of that to play Legend of Mana. You should go play Legend of Mana if you're listening to this. If you have a PS3 hooked up, you can get it for $6 and play it real easy. That's what I'm doing.
That's why you had to make that tweet of my PS3 trying to download things in 2019.
Yes.
Don't forget, Phil, you can probably play on the Vita too.
Yeah, but the Vita only has 2 shoulder buttons, so you only get 2 of your special moves.
Don't worry, you got back touch.
That's what back touch is
the
for.
back touch.
Oh yeah, that's right, back touch.
You know what? If I had a Vita, I would totally pick that option. Not for portability, but for downloadability.
But Legend of Mana is great. Looks gorgeous still. The music by Yoko Shimomura is incredible. I would say one of my favorite soundtracks she's done. Now I'm going to throw my best friend, who I've mentioned before, Dan Reichert friend, under the bus.
Oh, great.
Because there is a mission in Legend of Mana where at the end you get access to the blacksmith in the back of your house. And during the tutorial for that, the guy teaching you says, he's basically just a tutorial menu that explains how it works while your character is in the background hitting something with a hammer. And he says, the key to being a blacksmith is you got to give it 1,000,000 strikes. And he thought it was literal and left it on for 14 hours.
Holy shit.
Is this the same friend where you made their Star Ocean save impossible?
Yes. It's also, I drank every form of coffee and couldn't fall asleep for 36 hours, friend.
Also, the really big blizzard.
Yeah, really big blizzard, friend. Where we spent $11 to get a terrible blizzard for the meme.
I actually forgot to mention this earlier during your Jedi Outcast bit, Bob.
Yeah.
But the original developers of Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, did a live stream where they played through the game and talked about its development.
Oh, nice.
It's on GDC's channel. If you're interested in that, look up GDC Plays Jedi Knight 2 with Raven Software.
That's really cool. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, me too, because you see developers go through a part where they're like, players thought this was supposed to mean something, but It's just some random thing we did.
Man, remember when Ravensoft got to make games and not Call of Duty maps?
I try not to remember that because then I get sad.
Didn't they do X-Men Legends?
I don't think so.
Let me look it up. I feel like they might have. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Raven Software.
Weird. Okay.
I just vividly remembered like their splash logo for that.
Mm-hmm. Field, did you play anything else?
No, that was it.
You know, guys, I thought it was really unfortunate when we got the news from Sony that only Dan would be able to go to the Last of Us 2 event to be able to preview the game. So I was doing some work. I can't mention what the game is, but I have been assured that I will be able to get review code for all 4 of us to play a video game that you will eventually hear about on the Big Think Dimension. So no worries.
How tantalizing.
Excellent.
I've told Dan about it, and he cackled at the prospect.
I don't feel dread at all.
Only
Oh,
excitement.
man. I mean, I made the comment, what if we get this to feel? And he's like, oh, that would be delightful.
I'm very excited.
Please look forward. I got confirmation that it's happening. Just gotta wait closer to its launch.
Great news.
Podcast influence really works.
He says like he's fucking Sith. He's like, do not doubt
not to
the power
boast,
of the podcast.
It's very good.
Bamco did just tweet about their influencer stream for Code Vein's launch, and I'm like, I have more Twitter followers than almost all of these people.
And then they're like, oh, would you like to talk about our game? And you're like, not on the record.
I'm warning you all now. If corporations try to buy me, I'm letting myself be bought.
This
is the funniest coming from you
This
specifically.
does not apply to GigaBoots. This just applies to Feel.
And also, that doesn't even make you a sellout, because a sellout would imply that you're giving up your beliefs for money, but you've always believed in money. Just like all the best of us. You know who believes in money?
Who?
The Podlords.
Podlords?
Yes, the Podlords. Podlords such as Danny Richardson, Notgak, E. Lee Broyles, Third Birthday Wen, Running Out of Name Ideas, Dank, Mormons, Red Blaze 27, Shinra Executive, Jucifer, Suzu Shiro, Matty Mo, Emperor Zero, Ramicus, Crystal Pen, Luminous 777, Mitzi, Funny How All the World's Religions End in Snuff Porn, Chris Fitzpatrick, Motomu Toriyama is a hack. Hashtag free adult hopes Twinkie Toes.
That's it. I'm walking.
Brandon Heat. While you were busy being horny on Maine, I studied the Keyblade.
I agree. That was just me. I paid $50.
No, you didn't. Don't say that. Don't
You're
take
right.
their
I don't
thunder.
even have $50.
Brandon Hannebarger
I'm sorry, dude. Your name's
and
great.
Pasta Palico. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thanks, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
Bob, is there
Thank you, dear Podlord.
is there a foot arc with Hope in 13? I haven't beaten 13.
I don't remember it. It probably came up in 13 too, because that's when Adult Hope shows up.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
One of those alternate
I think it's
timelines.
less than. More people going, who else is in 13? People think Adult Hope is hot, and they want to dick him down.
They want to dick him down? Is that shorthand for the patriarchy?
No, that's just... No, don't worry about it. When are we going to get more about Fang?
Never.
I forget Fang existed.
How can you forget Australia, the character?
So we have
Their
important
design is really bad.
news right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Neil Druckmann told me this himself while I was at the event, but they have since announced it on Twitter. Naughty Dog is not going to have a multiplayer mode in The Last of Us Part 2 As they were developing the multiplayer mode, it became too ambitious, so that is now going to be a separate thing down the road, not included with The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, weird.
Some people are having a really fucking
I didn't
adverse
even hear
reaction
that they
to
were
this.
still doing a multiplayer mode. Okay.
Yeah,
mean,
it was in
that was like
development. They didn't talk about it, but it was in development.
That was a huge part of the first one. Like, there's a big community on that.
Yeah,
so
there's
it's
a pretty
surprising.
big community on that.
It, like, wasn't half the season pass even multiplayer shit?
I can't remember.
I remember there being a bunch of multiplayer DLC.
I only saw the statement of them going, "This is our biggest game yet, and it doesn't even have the multiplayer in it at all. It's just 2 discs of the game in multiple languages."
Yeah, you excited for another double disc Blu-ray game next year, Bob?
We need Blu-ray 2 already.
2 weeks after this game's double Blu-ray disc is Final Fantasy VII's.
How the fuck are we getting through an entire other gen with Blu-ray if we can't even remotely fit the games
I don't
at the
know.
end of this gen on 2?
I don't know.
Well, maybe they won't have to. I assume a lot of this is just we have to hide the load times. Also, some of these cutscenes the PS4 shits the bed on, so we're just gonna make them videos. I assume that has to be what this and 7 Remake is mostly.
I mean, to be fair, both of those games are very well suited to having pre-rendered cutscenes hide load times.
The Square thing, I believe, especially because in Kingdom Hearts 3 interviews, Nomura just straight up says, "Yeah, we wanted to do a lot of pre-rendered stuff, but we're actually scaling back a little bit on it because we need to get this to fit on the fucking disc." Which sounds to me like, this is Final Fantasy VII. I get to do this as much as I want.
Like, I have a sneaking suspicion that you're going to put in the... Red Dead Redemption 2 does the thing GTA
Install
did last
disc.
gen where it's... Yeah, so I assume it's going to be like, you install the game, then you put in the disc that's just all pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah, as my understanding is, it's an installed disc, and then another disc, and that disc has to stay in there just to verify. It's like, yeah, you own this. You got it.
I think it's really funny that when multiplayer started getting introduced to the later Naughty Dog games, people chafed against it. But The Last of Us 1's multiplayer apparently was so well regarded by a certain community that this is now, people are just exploding. They're like, how could you? This isn't good enough. Why aren't you having multiplayer packed
That is
in
the
with
best
the game?
multiplayer mode I've never played, because I heard about it so much.
It's pretty decent. It's good. It's all right. It's pretty good.
Is it a 6.5 out of 10?
No, it's better than Burst Limit.
Stop being generous to Burst Limit.
You're right.
We haven't done the
You are
content yet.
absolutely
We haven't talked about how amazing it is yet.
Speaking of which, I have waited until this moment to reveal this thing, Bob.
What's up?
Pick up the cardboard thing that has been sitting on your coffee table all week. The mysterious slabs of cardboard. I'm going to need you to grab that, bring it over to your mic, and then reveal to yourself what is inside and reveal it to our co-host
Bob
via
not
your
know?
words.
Oh no, what is this?
Bob seriously didn't know about this.
Okay, this seems to
I'm
be
scared.
a Burst Limit poster? Is that right? Is that what this is?
Bob, that is a printout of the magazine ad to promote Burst Limit from back in the day. It is also the same imagery that is on the pre-order exclusive t-shirt.
Yes, but this is colored, unlike that.
It's a very high quality print.
Is there a Burst Limit t-shirt where it's just Goku's face really zoomed in?
Yes, but it
In
also has
monochrome.
Cell's face really zoomed in monochrome.
It's
Both.
He's like, "Argh."
it's like an old school boxing poster.
Yeah. You know why I know
Oh,
what's on the shirt?
Lollapalooza.
I own 2 of them.
Thunder Down Under.
Yes. Thank you, Yamcha / Muscle Man. But yeah, no, that showed up one day in the P.O. box, and I'm like, what do I even?
Look, Dan, you can't even attempt to imitate the Let's Get Ready to guy because he'll fucking sue you.
Yeah, that's fair.
In fact, he might try to sue me for saying Let's Get Ready to because that is like a clip you almost can't find online. He so aggressively pursues this.
It's okay. I'll bleep out the last word so he can't sue us.
If you if you could just cut in, oh damn, I'm not even sure KZ knows what this video is.
You're gonna have to help me with this.
No,
Okay.
here's what you do, KZ. You just cut in yourself completely monotone saying, fight.
Okay, KZ, I'm gonna need you to take the F-bomb from this Kajeto-kun video that is Yu Yu Hakusho and just cut it over the last word of Feel's sentence.
God.
I'll give you a timestamp one sec.
Okay. Absolutely. We will get this done.
Oh wait, no, it's him. It's not an F-bomb. It's him saying "dick."
Okay, good. Well, that's what Feel says at the end of that statement now. I was going to be like, should we use a clip from a thing? And then I went, well, that other thing I edit now definitely uses something like that.
Let's just continue talking about The Last of Us 2 because we already got into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
The Last of Us 2, they did that to make you watch that state of play that was 20 minutes of something. It's coming out February 21st. They showed a story/gameplay trailer. Looks good.
It had barely any gameplay. I would say it was.
They showed cool shots of them like hitting stuff.
I had
Have gameplay?
Ellie
Jesus.
on a horse walking towards the camera.
It did have that.
It had like that sizzle reel of monsters attacking, and you see it like, oh, here's my takedown. They had the escalation part of that trailer.
Yeah.
They said she can jump in the game. I'm just trying to imagine how that's going to look.
They added a lot of stuff, and in fact, PlayStation themselves put up a video of the demo they let journalists like myself come and play at Naughty Dog, where you can go prone now, you can jump now. There's skill trees. They added a decent amount of gameplay stuff to this, and I'm like, why doesn't your trailer showcase that?
Yeah.
They don't know how this fucking shit works.
It's
Dan, they
insane.
showed a Call of Duty story trailer.
for a
And I'm
Call
like,
of Duty
what
that already
the fuck
exists.
are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. That was a thing. I would
The reasoning is simple. They didn't do it.
Look,
Sony has to do the exclusive thing with Call of Duty. And they're like, fuck it, we haven't shown the story thing for Call of Duty yet. Guess it's going here.
the Call of Duty's focusing a lot on story this year.
Mm-hmm.
It might be better than The Last of Us.
Oh my
I mean,
god!
I expect it'll have more brevity.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I don't know if I can be necessarily sure of that. I've just seen people just mad about The Last of Us.
That's fucking fair.
I mean,
It's
Once I saw-
Sony was up their own ass for a year about Ellie and their girlfriend. They did a whole Pride Month trailer focused on that. And then they jumped this trailer where I guess Ellie watches her get shot in the back of the head right in front of her with a neck on the back of her neck so she can't do a knee on the back of her neck so she can't do anything.
that's the implication of the trailer, but I'm convinced that's a misdirect.
I don't know. She's wearing the girlfriend's bracelet right after that.
Yeah, but what if they just have matching bracelets?
They don't. I went back and watched earlier trailers.
Okay.
I'm not going to be convinced this isn't a misdirect for an even worse, larger plot twist until I beat the game.
That's the thing. Maybe they kidnapped her and that's why Ellie goes apeshit. But I would bet money Ellie does not find her alive.
The gameplay that they showed that like PlayStation posted in the preview coverage, I saw snippets, and between that and the trailer showing its state of play was enough to make me go, I guess I'll finally play this first game.
Yeah, that's
wow.
weird. Do you think that they were originally going to put that out in October?
What, The Last of Us 2?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure.
because I imagine that PS Plus stuff has to be, locked in a ways in advance.
Right.
So them being like, here's The Last of Us 1 for free to get you ready for the game at the end of the month.
Insiders
Right.
said that it was going to come out in fall, but then that got pushed, and then Death Stranding got finished up, and then it made more sense. Like, I remember Schreier was saying, yeah, it's most likely happening in February, and he said that like fucking 5 months ago.
So, real quick, KZ, you said you haven't played The Last of Us.
I have not, but I got it with my PS4 when I bought it like years ago. It came in with the bundle.
Feel, have you played The Last of Us?
Yeah, I played through the whole story mode. I didn't play the DLC or any of the multiplayer.
I actually bought the whole second release on the PS4 to play the DLC. Never played it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, we should clearly do The Last of Us Let's Play. I'm just kidding. I'm not interested. But you should check that out.
I will say, I will, like, for the please.
Will you?
I'll eat crow if they keep this fucking Dina character alive. They killed both other halves of the gay romance in this series.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. So I was like, oh shit, are they burying the gays twice in one franchise?
Three times.
Is it 3?
Cause the
Are there more gays that they buried that I'm unaware? I'll play
Joel's
eventually.
friend that helped people the part of the game to get you the car.
Yeah.
Okay, I will look forward to that. I'm gonna play it eventually because I don't know, maybe
It's a pretty great game. I have no qualms with I have no issues with The Last of Us 1. It's a perfectly fine game.
Yeah, I'm really hoping The Last of Us 2 and its incredibly awful choice of themes don't make me fucking hate the game.
Yeah, all the gameplay stuff looks fun.
It's a story
Yeah,
about revenge, my friend.
Oh,
I'm
cool. What a new
I just
thing.
want to laugh about the fact that me and Dan, every time The Last of Us 2 came up, oh, I hope this isn't just miserable and dark. I hope this isn't just miserable and dark. I hope this isn't just miserable and dark. And then people are like, oh, why do you think it'll be that? And now they're like, here's our box art. It's Ellie scowling, covered in blood.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna say it's not unfair for you to think that and have that perception even before that. I'm not gonna write the game off as like, oh, it's gonna be bad, which I feel like is what some people were reading those statements.
Yeah,
as.
I have no idea how the quality of the game will be. I'm just afraid that, like, if you go into this game not wanting to feel bad the entire time, you might be disappointed.
Like, I feel like your read of that, both of your reads of that, it's like, they fucking said the first game's themes are about love. This game's about hate. Like, of course.
Well, not only that, the trailers and the shit they keep presenting for it, like even this trailer is like a toned down version of it, but it's so much of a fucking joke that the guy who did what's the name of, oh my god, my brain today is just terrible. But there was the trailer for that VR game that made the joke of clip his wings.
Oh yeah, the Rick and Morty guy.
Yeah, the Rick and Morty guy fucking did that trailer for his game. That VR game where even it made a joke about clip his wings because that was so fucking extreme and grimdark in a way that just seemed tone deaf.
In the lead up to this event, one of the, like, here's like the big important items in The Last of Us 2, and like one of them was the bracelet, the big promotional tweets. One of them was the hammer.
Yep, one of them was the hammer. It's true.
That's messed up.
And then another one was like, here's a watch. It's broken. Look at the time. Ooh, it's the release date. And it's like, yeah, we knew it was February since 5 months ago, dude.
I'm going to make a gamer premonitions.
Sure.
Joel isn't real.
Yeah, I made that premonition 5 days ago on Twitter.
I know, but I'm just getting it out on the podcast. Because when the very first trailer came out, there was debate about it and nobody could decide. And after this trailer, I'm like, he's not fucking real.
Oh, he's going to be real in this game in the first bit. The second half, she's going to spend in denial, and he's not going to be real. All the parts where he's co-oping with you will end up not being real, which this will end two ways. One, fucking hilarious because of all the moments that are literally impossible without Joel. And then two, as Bob pointed out to me earlier, this is supposed to be a stealth game where you can avoid being violent for pretty much most of it. If it's like The Last of Us 1, and like there's definitely going to be a moment at the end of the plot where it's like, look at all the blood on your hands, and it's like, well, I stealthed everything.
Deacon St. John shows up.
Can you actually progress just by stealthing by dudes? I thought they like do the lock the room, kill everybody thing.
They do that with clickers, but I'm pretty sure with the humans in 1, you can stealth past almost all of them, if not all of them.
I thought that you had to kill some people in 1, but 2, it sounded like that demo made it sound like, hey, you don't have to kill them.
There's an important plot moment in 1 where you have to, But aside from that, I can't recall anything.
Okay.
There's
Maybe I'll try to
Two.
No, I won't.
Two important plot moments. No,
Metal Gear Solid 3 is really great because of that.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, look at all the people you've killed, and you're walking down the river Styx.
Yeah.
And
There's nobody.
Sure, no one's there. That's what happened for me, too. You are correct. I killed no one.
pleased to hear that there is a focus on just getting through without killing anyone, because, they're using the marketing to be like, look how raw every takedown you've got is. Look at the way the blood splatters as you put the hatchet in their neck.
The Last of Us 1 had that shit, like, you know what your silent kill in The Last of Us 1 is?
Oh no.
Joel stabs them in the neck with an improvised weapon. He gets them from behind, and you can do like a choking takedown, which makes noise, or you can use a shiv and stick it in their neck.
Very excited for The Last of Us 2. That gameplay stuff they showed off in the not trailer has me more interested than the rest of it. In fact, I think the video thing they put up that isn't a trailer about that game is a really it's they should have shown that. They should have just shown that in the fucking state of play thing. It is such a better showing for that game. It's absurd.
Yeah, seeing stuff like prone in action and the dodge mechanic.
And the skill tree. Yeah, the dodge mechanic. The
This
traversal.
is how most things go, where they show off a trailer where it's like, the average Joe will like go, I'm interested in the video game. And then the people that are a bit on the fence go, okay, they showed the actual video game this time.
Yes, except for most of the time the story trailer isn't literally repulsive. Which,
True.
For most
Every
of the
video
Last
game
of
has
Us,
a special case.
yeah, most of the Last of Us 2 story trailers have been pretty bad to middling, and I would put this at middling.
God, I hope they don't do that. It was a fake Joel the whole time thing, because that's the same thing Call of Duty Black Ops 1 pulled, and it made zero sense.
And that's why
The
it's
fact
funny.
that Ellie
The
in the
last
trailer,
of Fight Club.
the fact Ellie in the trailer is just like, what are you doing here? And Joel like smirks and goes, you think I'd let you do this by yourself? His ass is fake.
I love feels Joel, because he comes off less as a haggard old man and comes off more as an action movie guy. He's like, you thought I'd let you do this by yourself? Let's do this.
That's what it felt like.
I love
It wasn't. The line read wasn't that though. The line read was way more sad.
I love it because I
Yeah,
hear
no,
Dan's version of that all the fucking time. So hearing Field's approximation, I'm like, I mean, yeah, that works.
Like, the actual line reads something like, you thought I'd let you do this by yourself. And then it feels like, you thought I'd let you do this by yourself.
I love killing.
I love killing. Yeah.
Welcome to the gold mine.
Shooting like six pits.
Come on, Kazooie, shoot the dynamite.
Oh no. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta move on. State of Play was pretty unmomentous aside from that. Civ 6 is coming to consoles. All right.
That I was interested in just because I enjoyed Civilization 6 a good bit, and I know it came out on Switch, and I went, why the fuck would I ever buy this? The PS4 one, I'm like, if I hear that that's good, I'm gonna have a problem. The reason that I don't fall into that is I don't play the PC much, which prevents me from just saying, all right, I'm just gonna play this for 18 hours. Not with real people, just one player, just alone.
That's how that goes.
Yeah. That's that game.
I just go, I want to build shit up and zone out and listen to a podcast and play this. So I hope that's not good.
I had to make the executive decision not to buy any after 4.
Yeah.
I got in with 5, which I got in real hard into that. And then 6 was a better version of 5. So that just hit about as hard.
Maybe I'm thinking of 5. Let me check which one I got into.
5's
I
pretty
can't
big
imagine
for
it was.
most people.
I can't imagine it was 4 because that came out so late.
5 came out
so
in like
much.
2009 or something.
Okay, it was 5. It was Civ 5, and I was like, "Oh, this is dangerous. I better stop."
And then they made a somewhat mid game Beyond Earth, where it's like Civ in space.
Yeah, they're trying to do like a throwback to Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, which is a million times better than that.
Yeah, I played that and I didn't. It was an okay distraction, but did not hit me in the way that Civ does. But Civ 6 is good. Everything's narrated by Sean Bean.
We also got the reveal, the most important thing at this event, Death Stranding branded PS4 and baby containing controller.
That both of those are really good, actually.
They are.
Yes.
Did you see the freaking world map on the handprints?
The
Yeah, on the
handprint is a world
handprints.
map.
Oh my god.
That's it's Kino. I'm gonna be honest. I'm starting to get hyped for this game.
Welcome to the cycle.
I have. This isn't a Death Stranding thing, but I have to know if anybody else had the same reaction I did. Where they show MediEvil, and they go like, now here's something from another legendary PlayStation franchise, and for a fraction of a second, I thought it was going to be Ape Escape.
Right. Yeah. The Ape Escape thing is coming any day now. So, of course, that was
fucking
a perfect
Twitter
setup.
that goes #apes will escape is starting to get me really paranoid.
Oh, that's nothing. You know what's getting him paranoid? Me. So he's sitting there making you think about it and paranoid, and I'm sitting there making him even worse.
When's the Ape Escape gonna have their outbreak day?
September 23rd, Outbreak Day for Ape Escape.
Escape day.
And then it's a really old, haggard Spike, and he's like, "You thought I'd let you do this alone?"
No. No.
No.
No, please don't do this, because then they're just gonna get fucking Nolan North to voice Spectre.
Oh my god, I want that. I want that really bad.
Yeah, I know, he has good range. He has very good range, just no voice director ever allows him to use anything but Nathan Drake.
I know.
I feel like that's a lot of voice actors nowadays.
It's a shame.
They let
Like,
go crazy with
Liam
Deadpool, at
O'Brien,
least.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to be evil and gay.
There you go. That's every role he's done.
Except when he's angry, which is just what Asura was.
So, not talking about that. Let's hit up the last news item for State of Play and then move on to actual news.
Yeah.
Teaser for a game called Humanity was shown. It's being made by the people by Enhance, and for people who don't know who that is, that's the company that Tetsuya Mizuguchi founded. You know, the creator of Lumines and Rez.
Yeah.
Huh.
You
Yeah.
remember their last game was Tetris Effect?
Yes.
Weren't they also behind Donut County?
I don't think so. I don't. Let me look
Or
it
maybe
up.
that's the other wacky game.
No,
Wata.
that's where Dan works, at a donut shop.
Allegedly. Annapurna
Lightning
Interactive.
fast donut and liquor.
But yeah, Annapurna Interactive is the publisher on Donut County, and I think they were also the publisher on Humanity. I think that was announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew there was some weird connection.
Yeah. So that's what's up with that. We were just talking about The Last of Us 2's great box art. KZ, were any other great box arts revealed this week?
You know, I feel like the Final Fantasy VII Remake box art walked so Last of Us could run.
Wasn't there one other thing in State of Play with Wadham, the guy, the Katamari guy?
There was Wadham, but
Yeah, the Katamari guy's doing another game. I think it might look it. I don't know what it is.
it looks
I feel
like another
even with-
Nobi Boy.
Right.
But I could tell what Nobi Boy was, sort of.
Yeah, I put that in miscellaneous in case people wanted to pick up stuff, because I didn't know if you wanted me to run down the PSVR block.
So,
LA Noir VR
No,
case
okay,
file.
that's the only
that's-
one we need to bring up. So LA Noir's getting a VR game. That facial mocap, not including the body mocap, is more obvious than ever. It is like watching a
Dude, that
person
VR
stick-
thing's been out. It's just finally coming to PS4.
Okay, I had not seen it before this event. Watching the bodies move, it like the face is just attached to it. It's insane. It looks so fucking disconnected.
Yes, you were interviewing a zombie. Is that wrong?
It's like somebody sticking their arms through the sleeves of the actor and trying to gesture to what they're saying. That's what it looks like. It's insane. And that looks terrible.
Also, made me realize when I looked at the VR block, I guess their big heavy hitting one that they were working on is getting delayed, which is the Iron Man one.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what they opened the first State of Play with, and it wasn't here. And that was targeting this year, so I guess it got pushed.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Or it just comes out on random day.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah, that's Sony's MO until PS5 starts revving up is, fuck it, news whenever.
Yeah, they just seem like they need to take medication. They seem terminally depressed, and I don't like this arc they're on.
They have to be thematically appropriate with Last of Us 2.
You just thought I'd let you have an E3 without me?
This whole State of Play honestly feels like Sony is just neurotic and is like, we can't just release a trailer. We have to make something to surround the Last of Us 2 trailer.
Maybe.
There's a fucking Call of Duty story trailer in this.
Yeah,
They're
man.
like we have
Why
a few things that, we should push and whatever. People will watch this because The Last of Us 2 will be featured.
Also,
The Call of Duty thing is still giving me a stroke because did they even go, here's our exclusive DLC, or was it just trailer, move on?
They revealed some stuff about that where Spec Ops, the survival mode for it, is exclusive to the PS4 version until October of next year.
Yep.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
insane.
I mean,
I couldn't believe
if you want to play the survival aspect of it, you're only going to play it on PS4 because no one will care about this game in October of next year because the next Call of Duty will be out.
Sony's dropping huge money on this.
KZ. I don't know if anyone's gonna care about next year's Call of Duty. That's the one that sounds like
Everyone's gonna
constant
care
fire.
about it, dude. It looks like it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's gonna be the roughest we've ever seen it.
It's gonna be another thing that shows up in Feels News every week for 3 months.
Oh no. Oh no. No, not that. They're going to do a Battlefield next year.
That's gonna be the real dire one.
The PS5 Xbox 2 launch is going to be the most tire fire of them all.
Cross-gen Battlefield.
Something we didn't talk about, this Call of Duty's crossplay.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
That's really neat.
Yeah, I did notice that when they were like, please register your Activision thing when I did the beta, which I assumed was for setting that up.
Yeah. I have one funny anecdote to say about the rest of the State of Play, and then I have nothing else to say.
Okay.
So when they go, you can get caught up to date on The Last of Us 2. What was it? No, it was, they're like, hey guys, we're here to announce the new October PlayStation Plus games. Batter up. And then it shows MLB The Show 2019 and Eric, because Eric is very... the only perspective he cares about out loud is his own. So when they announce that, he's like, yeah, that's great. What about games for me? And then they go, you can also get The Last of Us 1. And I cackled.
Is that a game for him, or is that also not a game for him?
Eric is a fan of Kirby. Eric does not like scary things. Eric does not like violent things.
Maybe he's a nuanced individual.
Look, I'm just saying Eric does not like violent things. He does not like scary things. The Last of Us is very much not for him.
And of course, Eric is very nuanced.
Yeah.
I will say the PS Plus games not being for you, I feel like, is the experience most people have every single month.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the meaning of
This is how
PlayStation
PS Plus generally works. If you care about something enough, you'll probably have bought it. So then the PS Plus version will come out and you're like, I have that already.
I feel like it was better when they stopped doing PS3 games. I feel like it got worse by a lot.
The only thing where I was like, I picked that up. I think I own Detroit now, and I own Yakuza Kiwami, which I did not pick up at launch. because too many Yakuza games were coming out,
Uh,
and I got scared.
Fury. How the hell do you pronounce that game's name?
Fury.
I do.
Is it Fury?
I just don't need
Fury.
feel just saying furry for no fucking reason out loud.
But Fury was like almost when that game launched. It was insane. It was like a couple months after.
Yeah, I bought it day one. It was bad, and then they did that, and I was like, okay. Well,
I got it for free and thought that was a delightful little game.
One other game I actually want to talk about, Afterparty. The developers of Oxenfree are making a game where you have to compete in drinking contests and partying to party your way back out of hell. It looks pretty
It's a
funny.
good concept.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like how
interested in that.
Satan's just like sending them to the mini bosses first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're like training on lesser demons, trying to drink them under a table. It's pretty good. But yeah, Afterparty looks pretty good. I'm interested in that. Hopefully I catch it when it comes out at the end of next month, October 29th. Has anyone here on this podcast played Oxenfree, by the
No.
way? Anyone?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
No.
I'm not saying I have. I was just checking if anyone else had. But
I missed a lot of indie games like that just because it's like, okay, I won't buy this. And then I never see it again after the launch window because it like never comes into my vision.
That's fair. That's kind of what happens. They get buried. It's really sad as tools get democratized and the population keeps going up. Games are becoming fungible. It's terrible. It's the worst.
Now, I'm thinking about in the future when I'm editing this, and I feel like Casey gets really tired out. He needs a moment in which Dan yells about a thing with no breaks. Hey Dan, can you tell me about this AtGames thing you have on your list?
I'm going to be really brief with that because even I don't care that much and it's really complicated. But basically, for those who don't know, the original developers of Miss Pac-Man are not Namco. It was a thing made by some people in the States, and it was basically what you would consider the original mod for a video game. So they made their own custom version
and
of
that's
Pac-Man.
the better Pac-Man game.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that fucking hilarious? In fact, even worse than that, most people don't realize Namco tried to make 3 different sequels to Pac-Man, and they all suck shit compared to Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, like Pac-Man Jr. and
Pac-Mania.
Isn't there that
Pac-
shitty isometric one?
Yeah, that's Pac-Mania. I enjoy it, but it's not a great game. It's not Miss Pac-Man.
the only good one, Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures.
Yeah, so they made a lot of those, and Pac-Land, which has that legendary Smash level.
Ugh.
Something wrong, Bob?
These are all bad.
So, anyways, that company owns the rights to Miss Pac-Man. Namco doesn't. AtGames, or AtGames, I think it's AT. Anyway, they wanted to make sure Namco would come to them again to do their next joystick TV bullshit thing that they make for a bunch of different companies. They used to make those shitty Sega consoles. So,
Sega performed an exorcism.
they tried to fuck with Namco by buying the rights directly for Miss Pac-Man from GCC. And when Namco heard about that, they went DEFCON 3 on their asses and sued the shit out of them because they already had reasons they could do that. So there's a court trial going on between Namco and GCC right now. And what was it? Target also is having issues with AtGames?
Oh, good. I hope they get nuked.
Sorry. I misspoke there for a second. Namco is suing AtGames. They are not suing GCC. AtGames is trying to buy the rights to Miss Pac-Man, so Namco's forced to work with them in the future. And I think I also read somewhere that Target is having issues with AtGames as well.
So my understanding is Namco wants Miss Pac-Man rights.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to talk to another company that has those rights. And AtGames is like, well, we want to work with you, so we'll just buy them out from under you.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be forced to work with us.
Uh-huh. Works great for crazy girlfriends. Works great for business partners.
In a dimension in which that occurred,
Yeah.
this is what would happen, I feel like, if I was Namco. They went, okay, we're never making anything Miss Pac-Man related again. Eat shit.
That's
Yeah.
almost certainly what's going to happen.
That's what would happen. And, I understand. I totally understand. But yeah, it looks like AtGames is getting fucked by a lot of people right now. So that's good. Long story short, AtGames is being shut the fuck down by all of their business partners. The earth is blue and there is a god. So take that.
AtGames sucks. They made plenty of bad Genesis mini consoles. I have one in my house.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, they make bad everything.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week.
Did you get it at a Family Dollar?
My parents were like, "You like video games, right?" And then they brought that home, and I was like, "Oh no."
You're making me rethink my stance.
Oh no, that same logic is why my uncle gave me Rugrats: The Search for Reptar on the PS1.
I heard that game's raw.
It is surprisingly good.
God damn.
Okay, yeah, I've heard nothing but praise when that was mentioned. The one time it's been mentioned to me.
Bob, I see you have some important news here. Impact is more raw than Comic Sans. Care to elaborate?
No, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, these are just facts we're talking here.
These motherfuckers, Dan Video Games ruined all of my fun. I made the entire notes for our document Comic Sans. Theo got really tired and then made it like a video game font. And then Bob made his Impact. And Dan's like, oh, fuck this. I'm too old for this shit. Make it normal. Make it Arial.
It's
I want it
not
to be
Arial.
legible.
It's actually Arimo. So, thanks.
Cacho on.
There you go, sweetie. I hit Control-Z enough times.
Yay.
Yeah, it's fucking hideous.
Yeah, these are all bad fonts.
I like that KZ just associated being old with having taste. That's funny.
I was going to pick like Wingdings just to spite KZ like, fuck you, now you can't read my news at all. But they don't have a Wingdings equivalent in
Good, that'll make the podcast shorter.
No, I would change it back for recording.
Ugh.
So, Bob, you got any other news?
Yeah, they teased a new Batman game.
Why would they do
They
that?
did.
I don't know, but the Twitter account for
What do you mean? Why?
for Warner Brothers Games Montreal, which did, I believe, the Batman Origins. Yeah,
They
Arkham
did.
Yeah,
Origins.
the knockoff.
They did Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins, which was better than Arkham Knight.
Like, yeah, that's because Arkham Knight was so bad because of the Batmobile. But apparently there also could be some involvement from Scott Snyder, who created the Court of Owls Batman comic storyline.
The Court of Owls is like the coolest thing in modern Batman.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Is that a high bar?
And Scott Snyder's a good writer.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
It's worth reading. It's worth experiencing, unlike a lot of modern Batman stuff.
So knowing that this isn't Rocksteady just makes me not care, basically.
I have to wonder what Rocksteady is doing, because they've been silent forever now.
Yeah, they've been
so it's got to be next gen.
They've been working on a Superman game, and it's like, wait a second. You can't make a good one of these. What have we been doing?
There were rumors of them doing the whole Justice League game. Who knows
was
if
it
that
Rocksteady
happens.
the one where they were rumored making a Damian Wayne thing, or was that this studio? And then I heard like a Suicide Squad game.
I also heard something about Silver Age Batman game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
who knows?
been a lot. Like, it sounds like there's been a lot of at least concepts of DC superhero games that have just gone nowhere ever since Arkham Knight dropped.
Right.
But it's really interesting. When do you think they're going to show this? Because a lot of people thought it might have just been state of play, but it didn't show up.
Yeah, that state of play might have actually been exciting. Tony can't have that.
No.
So I think the next time we could possibly see this is Game Awards.
Yeah, this is reading to me a lot like we're going to see this at the Game Awards.
That would make
Right.
sense.
Yeah, it'll probably be one of those.
Jeff can put on a show I'm entertained by.
Yeah, Jeff from the Overwatch team often puts on shows that I'm entertained by.
His show is very
Yes.
entertaining.
As you can
I
see,
love that
he's
dude who edits Jeff from the Overwatch's team's clips and just makes a homunculus of
Yes.
bad words.
No, it's great. As you can see, Sigma is shoeless. That's because he's mentally ill. Okay, Jeff. Okay.
You want to play Overwatch after this?
No, because I already hate myself enough for playing 9 hours of Puzzle Quest.
Right.
All the ladies from Fairy Tale mentally ill.
Do we have any fairy tale news?
Please.
no.
We'll get to it.
Please
We'll get
no.
to it.
I have some other news here, though.
Yes.
A game
Ooh.
called Katana Kami, which is a spin-off of the Way of the
Bless you.
Samurai series.
Is this what anyone wants?
No, not
I don't
really.
know. I'm not a
But
fan of
let's
the
talk
series.
about what it is, and
Yes.
then we can talk about how we feel.
It's a top-down dungeon crawler, kind of like Diablo, where it's action based.
Okay.
It's all about gathering katanas, selling them, and trying to pay off the debt to like win this guy's daughter back because she was taken for some yakuza debt he had.
Okay.
But yeah, it seems like it breaks down to just go into the dungeon every night, kill monsters, get better weapons, and rinse and repeat.
I'm not against that idea for a game, but the whole crux of the way the Samurai series is that it's an interactive story that you can play a bunch of different ways by talking to people about different things and doing different actions. And it has like the butterfly effect,
Right.
where small actions can have a huge impact by the end of whatever the time period is. Is there any of that in this?
I'm not sure. There might be some because it does have factions. It literally has the factions from Way of Samurai 1, where it's like the two rival clans and then the third party that's the other people trying to just survive in the town. And you can build up rank with them. So that might lead to something more.
Am I weird because I sit there and go, samurais in ancient Japan and dungeons don't really match up in my brain? Is that weird for me, or is that normal?
That's pretty normal because this is like, it's a mystical realm even. Like, that's not even something they approach in other Way of Samurai games. They're pretty straightforward. This is a Kurosawa movie, not magical at all.
Yeah, the other Way of the Samurai games definitely had a Kurosawa film vibe to them. Man, this is weird.
You got like yokai?
Yeah, they're yokai in this version because there's weird alternate dimension stuff. I'm still gonna buy it. I really want this series to come back. I hope this game's actually still decent. Like, that it sounds like they want to have a deeper combat system than we see in something like Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. It sounds like each sword's still gonna have its own moveset. Cool.
Okay, like combo strings and stuff.
Right.
Okay, that's. I mean, that's cool. I saw some of the gameplay. It seemed neat, but I'm not sure that I would appreciate it as a part of the Way of the Samurai franchise.
Right. It's at least they know.
Is this made by Acquire?
Yeah, it's made by Acquire.
Okay.
So it's still the guys. They have the rights to it still. They can make these video games. I hope it goes well.
Yeah. Which, as we were talking about,
They made Akiba's Strip.
Acquire actually made Tenchu, like originally.
Ah.
Yeah. The focus of last week's Armchair Devs.
And they also made Octopath Traveler.
Very raw.
So who knows? Maybe Senran Kagura shows up somewhere in Katana Kami.
Hey, I make good character designs. Phil really liked mine.
This is a sentence I never imagined, Bob.
Yes.
Read it.
The Daemon X Machina content roadmap for the next few months came out.
Okay.
I am stunned this has DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't entirely clear if this is going to be free updates or if this is pay for. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to say these October 10th, we're getting 1v1 and 2v2 battle modes. It sounds like that's going to be for, real
That's
people
probably free.
and for like single player content. Then early November, we're going to see collaboration content with other mechs and costumes and things like that. So who knows? Maybe we'll actually get a Gundam or Ava crossover.
Yeah, collaboration sounds
cool.
like a tie-in.
That'd be neat.
Right.
Real quick question though: is there not a versus mode in the game?
I don't think there is right now.
Oh,
so
weird.
That's probably
Okay.
that's this coming up.
Huh. Okay.
Because
Continue.
everything else was cooperative.
Gotcha.
And then late November and in December, we're going to see extra missions, bosses, weapons, and armors come out. And
That seems like the thing that would be paid for.
I don't know.
If
None of this
anything is.
sound right. Like, if anything's paid for, it's that. But none of this really has that air of, like, usually they announce it as a season pass or something. And
I
not-
mean,
Yeah, Nintendo especially really likes to get that shit out in front.
I honestly would say the most likely thing to be paid for is the collaboration content. Pay for your Ava skin.
unless it's something that's literally coming out now, so it's an advertising deal with whatever company is. Like, hey, the new Ava comes out next year.
Yeah.
Here's this. Get hype.
Maybe.
Here's the Domino's tie-in.
What if it's somehow Terminator?
Please shut up.
KZ.
Oh.
KZ, if it's fucking Terminator, I'm literally gonna die.
Hey, we haven't gotten enough Terminator crossover stuff this year for that film that's totally gonna be good, guys, I swear.
That film came out, didn't it?
No way.
No.
No, surely not.
We
Who
would
would've
have heard it
heard?
was bad by now.
Terminator Dark. Okay, November 1st is when it starts.
Now that Rambo movie did come out. I've heard nothing good.
I heard good stuff from everybody who saw it on my end. I think only critics hated it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Rambo movie. If I get to see someone's head explode, it was probably a good Rambo movie.
That's not how it used to be.
That's a really good bar. Yeah, Bob, I did not expect this.
Very high standards are a big thing to mention.
Thinking big here in this dimension. Tell me about Medal of Honor Above and Beyond.
Medal of Honor
What?
Above and Beyond
Yeah.
is for the Oculus Rift.
Okay.
Oh.
It's being made by Respawn, the guys who do Titanfall in the upcoming Fallen Order Jedi game.
Oh, cool.
It's set during World War II again, like the older Medal of
Why
Honor.
they got lightsabers?
Okay.
And it comes out next year.
I'm really glad they finally announced what that third fucking game they were working on was. Because when they kept doing interviews and shit saying they had 3 teams working on 3 games, I was like, what the fuck is this third one?
I feel a little scared for Respawn.
Why are you scared, Phil?
I don't know. This just...
Don't worry, Phil. This is obviously like
Oculus pays money.
Facebook is giving them tons of money.
Facebook money
I
handed
guess
the
that's
shit out
true,
of them
but
for
I'm
this.
gonna be scared until they release a big cool game after Jedi Fallen Order.
You know, Jedi Fallen Order, looking questionable. It has lightsabers.
Shockingly, it has lightsabers in it, Dan. I don't know why a Jedi would use a lightsaber.
But here we are, and there is a lightsaber.
Seems creatively bankrupt to me.
Hopefully that game does well and is good. You know? All they really need to do is release an actually good Star Wars game and it'll probably sell gangbusters.
I mean, they can release a bad one and it'll sell gangbusters.
Not so much. I mean,
Not since Battlefield 2 fucking...
or Battlefront.
Sorry, Battlefront 2.
Heck, even Battlefront
salted the
1,
earth
I
on
don't
that.
think... I think that's when it really salted the earth, and 2 did not do well because of 1.
They sold
Yeah.
so much, though, still. It went below their expectations, but their expectations were like $15 million.
You mean copies. He means copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I corrected myself. Discord just stated. But like The Force Unleashed sold 6 million copies.
Yeah, but that
Which
was
one?
Raw.
1 or
It's got
2?
Darth Icky in it.
1. I don't
Okay.
think I've never seen a human being discuss 2 ever. Like that game just fell through the cracks.
Like what I said this week, I don't think there is a human being alive who's seen Chicken Little.
I've been saying that for years. Like eventually Chicken Little will just be that thing in Kingdom Hearts 2.
KZ,
Hi.
tell me about cool news about cool games.
Final Fantasy VII Remake showed off its box art, its official box art, and it's actually exactly what it's supposed to be. A complete recreation of the original PS1, only now using, the visuals of the remake. So it's the Cloud posing before Shinra with the cool, white background. And it looks really good. They showed key art a month ago that was that, but it didn't have the white look to it. And I was like, I guess that's the box art, and they actually went the extra mile to mimic the style. Yeah, really, really pleased that they did that alongside PlayStation blog post, and it's going to be appearing in Japanese magazines this week. So a bunch of renders for various characters, some screenshots, so we get to see a look at the menus for the materia system. Showed one that's it adds Blizzard to your attacks and it levels up, and it's exactly what you'd expect from that. And that game
And you can get
looks
Sundaga.
absurdly good.
You don't make your magic into a grenade and then throw it.
You're throwing your magic into a grenade. You have two shots with it. You can do the one where you highlight and then there's an AoE thing that you move your stick on to throw it and you'll always miss, or you just mash the attack button and it hits.
Dan, if you don't know, they're talking about Final Fantasy 15, a bad video game.
All right.
Just so maybe the audience has some context for the insanity that's coming out of their mouths.
I'm sorry, but that's gonna happen every time because they say this is the next big mainline Final Fantasy game, so that'll keep coming up. The last mainline Final Fantasy game where they made magic that it's that magic works unless you want to do the free aiming thing. Then I'm like, what are you doing? I can't. This is so unwieldy. But they also showed the boss fight thing that they did a TGS show floor demo. They just put that up uncut with no commentary. And that game looks really good. And I like the testament of how real this game is that everything looks immaculate except the water. Because in that clip they show the boss summoning the water and it just looks like jelly. I was like, good. Show more imperfections. It makes the game look more real. Because I'm still kind of shocked that, wow, suddenly this game is alive and coming out. That's neat.
Yeah.
People still getting really mad about that title.
That's fair.
I'm like, yeah. They're like, I'm worried about the Joe Schmo who's going to buy that and get mad. I'm like, maybe that guy should read the back of the box.
I don't think it's gonna be on the back of the box, KZ.
It's gonna be on the back. It's gonna be on the back of the box, Bob. Do we need to make a bet on this podcast about the back of the box?
Maybe that person should read the fine print. Is literally what KZ just said.
Right?
Yes.
No,
I'm gonna go ahead
the
and
box
say that
says.
yes, maybe you should read the back of the box to know what the game's going on.
I know the box said a box of apples, but listen, you got the skin. That's all you fucking wanted, okay? If you didn't want just the skin, you should have fucking
eBay
read
listing is terrible.
I'm just saying, a lot of people are going, man, Square's gonna get sued because they're lying to the gamers.
Oh, they're not going to get sued.
No, they're
Fuck
not.
you.
So Bob,
No,
you're,
what's up?
you're saying you're willing to make the bet right now that the back of the box won't, in plain English, say, by the way, this game ends at Midgar?
No, it
Yeah.
will say the exciting adventure in Midgar. That's the closest we're getting.
It's going to be something similar to what it says on the PlayStation Store now, where they say it's the first part in a multi-part remake series, where it very in plain text says that this is the first part of a thing, and it starts in the city, and it does the city of Midgar.
Okay.
I will-
KZ's saying it will say the first part of a thing. Bob is saying absolutely
I
not.
will say
No
it
way.
is similar to what is being said on the PlayStation Store
Well, I'm not,
right now.
I can't see what's on the PlayStation Store right now, but apparently it says something about being the first part of a thing. So we're looking for the back of the box to say that, and Bob says it won't. There we go. We're good.
All right.
I really
that
like your
means-
gamer premonition
I
earlier
can't
this
wait
week.
for a
Dan.
tie.
What were you saying, Bob?
I really liked your gamer premonition earlier this week about it,
Yeah.
where all the marketing is just saying that, but it's actually going to be the whole thing.
Yeah, no, that would be fucking insane. That would really
would be
for those who don't
that
read the
would be
Twitter.
ruinous
what I-
levels of insane.
What I said was the only reason they're only showing Midgar is that way. Surprise! This is the whole fucking game. We made you get your asses blown out over the fact the game's bigger than Midgar twice with the same game.
Well, obviously, they can only call this one the remake because the rest of them are the full-on sequel part of this.
Well, yeah, because those are going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake 2.
No, well, you see, this is the only part that's close to the original because by then, the game has gone full meta with it being a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, so it would make no sense to call the other ones remake.
Yeah, it'll just be called Final Fantasy VII Genesis.
I'm having
Bob,
a stroke.
sometimes you say things that get me so unbelievably excited.
I have a blood clot in my brain, so I'm gonna play. The back of the box will not plainly say it, but it'll say some shit like the start of the.
That's what I
remake.
was saying.
Yeah, but
This
it won't
is Dan's
specifically.
bit where he misconstrues the words I say because I am very tired.
At what point did I misconstrue? I'm pretty sure I was verbatim every time. Wasn't I?
I think you were, Dan.
I think I was. But you know,
you.
it's fine. I'm
KZ's
sure
was it
this
was
will get thoroughly edited.
This will be thoroughly edited because Dan's trying to trick me once again.
Can we talk about? Let's talk about. Oh no, let's. Oh, fine. Let's talk about Dissidia.
Okay, so I have wonderful news, everyone. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT is adding Gabranth from Final Fantasy XII as its newest DLC fighter because they decided to make an entirely different 12 villain be the villain representation near launch. So they had to add this guy way later. I have to believe this game's doing well because they're still making characters that aren't even a part of a season pass.
It's either that or they're working on like a more traditional Dissidia game for next gen that's going to use all these models.
It's this game has to be doing well, free to play has to be doing well, or the arcade one's doing okay. Something. I have to believe that.
Yeah, maybe it is just all the arcade pulling it.
When they put Yoshi P on 14, it was explicitly so they could scapegoat him when he failed. And then he moved heaven and earth to own them.
Because why else are you still making characters for this, you know?
Save face. Square Enix like doing that.
Do they need to save face?
No, but they think they do.
Oh yeah, no. Eric heard that Gabranth was in it, and he's really tempted. Which is
I was very close to just saying bluntly, don't. I thought the hint of you saying I've never seen Dan just so filled with dread and depression while playing something. I thought that'd be enough to tell him, yeah, don't play it. It's like a 5.
Please let them be making a more traditional Dissidia game.
That's wishful thinking. I would love for them to just say, yo, what's up? We took all these models and we're making a single player thing with a bunch of dumb RPG content in it. And like a visual novel story because we clearly can't make good story modes with Dissidia cutscenes, as been shown from NT. That story mode's really bad. I played it. Which, yes, means I grinded 40 levels to get enough story mode tokens to be allowed to play the story mode in that.
How depressing.
Every time you talk about this game, I start having a panic attack.
You need to understand how bad the fucking boss fights are against summons in that. Where they're just MMO bosses with giant sweeping AoEs, and you're just getting juggled the whole time, and it's a very unfun experience. So it's like, oh cool, they're doing a new interpretation of Shinryu in this. Oh, this is the most unfun thing I've played at that time. At the start of that year, that was a real big bummer. Where, like, even the story stuff was incredibly phoned in and really bad. And grindy.
Yeah.
Level up to play the story mode.
Yeah, real smart.
Which meant sometimes I spent 10 minutes leveling up to get a token. My reward is a 2.5-minute cutscene. If I level up again, I get to fight Zidane, but he is recolored to look evil. There's no cutscene preceding this.
I have this spoon. With my eye. Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Oh, well, before you do that, I've got one more thing on my news list. This came in today. Jackbox Party Pack number 6. It's releasing October 17th. I don't know how much experience, if at all, everyone else has with these. I'm a big fan.
They look fun. I don't know which platform to buy them on to be able to play with people.
Oh, how it works is only one person needs to own it. The rest of you can just play with a browser or smartphone.
Oh.
They're a vehicle for a game. Like, for example, it's like they have You Don't Know Jack on the most recent one, and it's like, here's the trivia. Anyone can go to jackbox.tv, enter a room code that is posted in the copy of the game, and then everyone plays it. And
that sounds delightful.
They immediately, as soon as they noticed, hey, streamers are playing this, immediately said, okay, we're leveraging stream stuff so your stream audience can join. They're allowed to like vote and have extra game mechanics tied to them. And this one's boasting you can have up to 10,000 audience members for it. And then usually the actual players max out at like 8. Where it's like 8 people do various stuff. Like the major centerpiece game this time is Trivia Murder Party 2, in which you and 7 other players have been kidnapped by a serial killer and must answer very obtuse trivia questions, and if you get them wrong, you must play a Saw-style funny minigame.
What the fuck is this? One of our new podcasts?
And if you fail the minigame, you die. And then at the end of the game, at least in the first one, it was like a race to get out, and the dead people got to play, and it was like a match this category question thing. And if you got it right, you got closer, and your ghost could possess the one living player that's trying to get out at the end. It's probably their best game, and this one's straight up adding a a failure minigame of you're playing Plinko. If it lands in the death thing, you die.
That's good. I like that.
Which is an upgrade from their last one called the Loser Wheel, where it's just a wheel with very small slivers that say you live, and the rest are just you're dead. Their stuff is, I find to be generally pretty funny, really varied. They put one of these out every year. They're really good for streams and stuff.
And now to balance KZ's opinion, Dan and Bob's take on it. It is just like Cards Against Humanity. It is a really great way to find out you're surrounded by unfunny assholes.
There are plenty of games that, I feel like aren't the Cards Against Humanity style, but there are definitely a lot of them that are just fill the prompt.
It's funny now.
Funny bit
And then some Neanderthal scrawls in penis. And they think they're hilarious.
I still remember the drawing one that just kept showing in like copyright free images instead of ones that were actually drawn by people.
So you could tell
insane.
Which ones were drawn by real people and which ones were just, we found these public domain images. Like, I forgot about that. That was insane.
There are some that go a little bit deeper in setting up prompts for you to make it a little bit easier, and then they have like the auto fill in. I found it to work out pretty well. I feel like the only problem that comes from doing it on streams is that it just means that some bits come up, like running jokes that from content I've done.
Like, where's the worst place to put potato salad?
Yeah, and then you get something about feet because apparently, some people cause problems in my life. Or you get ones about who are people with really strong arms and baby legs, and they go, "That's Mr. Field." And I start laughing a little bit because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for that to be the answer. But I feel like there's plenty of other ones that don't end up with, all right, everyone around you is unfunny, because there's just some other ones that, don't end up being that. There are some that are like, these are real games that people are just participating in. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be streaming that a bunch when that finally comes out next month.
Cool. Hey, Phil, you have some news. Can I bargain with you to remove certain fairy tale related things from your news?
No, I'm sorry.
God damn it. Just go into it now.
Okay,
Week 4.
This is all on KZ. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but he pushed me for it.
Then hurry up then, buddy.
I will. Okay, they gave a bunch of tidbits. The main story will be about 30 hours. A bunch of characters that did not appear very much in the manga or anime will have a more prominent role. There's more than 10 playable characters. There are costumes. No shit. Like, that's the most no shit thing that I've ever heard.
Shoes are optional on the costumes.
I will unironically think that'll probably be
people
true.
won't stop memeing feet jokes into my content. KZ 2 minutes later, foot joke.
No, this is not KZ's fault. That motherfucker, Hiro Mashima, was like, Urza Scarlet has to hold a third sword. How can she hold it with her toes?
Okay, someone sent that screenshot in a conversation with Phil, and I can feel Phil having the stroke in real time. It really is awful. We're allegedly doing a spoiler cast.
Your super magic will get better the higher you rank your guild rank. The higher you make your guild rank, you get better magic. You can upgrade the guild by doing things for the townspeople. And apparently there's just like a nuke everybody super meter where the guild master comes in and casts a super magic and blows up the field.
Yeah, in the show.
I'm excited. Not even because of Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail's honestly pretty mid. But the developer is good. So it'll probably be
that series has really good video game potential, and I'm very thankful that we don't have to talk about any anime deciding instead of running with an interesting concept, we're gonna make a bad arena fighting game.
Well, unfortunately, they announced My Hero One's Justice 2.
The My Hero game wasn't very good, but it was better than Jump Force, so whatever. People just want to have more of the fighters because that cut off fairly early.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one had a really, really pathetically low budget on almost everything about it. Like a cutscene of one of the most hype moments in the anime at that point was shown, and it looked like something worse than what you get from like MMD videos or like Source Filmmaker shit.
That's all of those though, because Jump Force was the same way, where it had the character literally Poochie, I have to go back to my home planet T-pose out of a scene.
Oh yeah, the Frieza fucking he's got to float away. Yeah, it was really bad with that, which was a real bummer, because it's like I'd like a cool like experience the story, the anime thing, but that just wasn't.
I feel like My Hero Academia would be like would be one of the better ones to do like what the Fairy Tail is getting.
Yes.
Where it's like you run around the city and do things for people.
Or it's a life sim where you create your own student and you go through a school life schedule of stuff, and then you get to be
there's kind of a really popular RPG series that they could easily rip off. So here's a couple minor things we'll whip through. The studio making the Panzer Dragoon remake is also remaking House of the Dead 1 and 2 for
This
Switch.
could be good
So
or bad.
So I assume
if
you'll waggle your Joy-Cons at the screen.
Yeah.
they must include the old voice acting for 2, or else they should not bother.
Yeah.
Modern machines need Goldman.
Speaking of the Switch and Joy-Cons, Nintendo about to get sued. The Switch Lite still has Joy-Con drift.
Does it? Has there been more than one case? Because I saw like one video and that was it.
I've multiple places reported it, so I'm just unless they're all the reporting on the same video, which is possible.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure of it or not, just because I saw one video of it and then people saying the architecture looks the same, but then someone said, well, fixing it would be very minor, so you wouldn't notice whether or not. But I'm willing to believe it. I don't want to believe it because they've been getting lit up about this for a while. You would think they'd fix it.
If they can, there also might be something weird about it, because somebody told me like, yeah, almost all cases of Joy-Con drift are in North America, so maybe they're getting weird parts for the North American ones. I can't imagine they'd be sourced differently though, but who knows?
Someone got a glitched Switch Lite setup in which they were going through the set and they're like, detach the Joy-Cons.
Uh-oh.
They had to like restart. I have had no issues so far. I saw someone like, my stick's broken. I broke it off. I'm like, how? How'd you do that?
That smacks of the PSP ejects UMDs. It shoots them out, and then you see the guy do it. It involves him bending his PSP far enough for the latch to no longer connect. It's like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no shit, man.
I was thinking of the circle pad shit with the 3DS with Smash.
Oh yeah.
And also with that, I was like, I feel like I grip shit hard and I don't crack anything or break anything.
Did you pick up a Switch Lite, KZ?
Yeah.
I own one.
Okay.
Yeah, his mom got it for him.
Yeah, I got it from the folks as an early birthday thing, and I've used it for like most of Link's Awakening.
Cool.
It feels great. Like it's probably my favorite portable to hold because it's a little bit bigger than the Vita, and it's more comfortable for me to hold. Like I really, really like it. So long as there's no drift that happens on mine, I'll probably have plenty of glowing things to say about it.
I just realized that Death Stranding really missed an opportunity when they didn't name a main character. No shit, man.
Don't worry, Dan.
knows?
There's
There
still
might be-
time.
Yeah, there's still trailers for Kojima to ruin that with.
True. There are minutes left
Is
in
just
each
Johnny
day.
Sasaki again?
Johnny Sasaki's named No Shitman because he doesn't have...
Shitmantsman.
Shitmantsman, yeah. Ass
But yeah,
blastman.
also Death Stranding went gold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like
That's
he
good.
posted some tweets and stuff about it a couple of like yesterday. Like, we're done.
I would hope. I
got
would
it.
hope.
Right?
It's 6 weeks away.
Look, sometimes these things come in hot.
Could you imagine
Yes.
this has critical glitches like it's a fucking Bethesda game?
Oh,
I was just thinking of Sean Murray in that photo of him. He's like, we got the gold disc. We did it. All right, we got to make the game now.
glitches of Jeff Keighley just walking around the whole world being gigantic.
Don't get me excited. What if Jeff Keighley got really big?
Yes.
Yeah, let's stop. Let's move on.
Okay.
The Atelier Dusk trilogy will launch in January 4th in the West. That is Atelier Aisha, Eska and Laji, and Shally. Two of those are really good, one less so. I hope they price it more reasonably than they priced the Arlen trilogy, because they priced that one at like $80, and I think $60 would be much more reasonable. No, I think it was like $90, and individually they were $40 each.
Whoa.
So I hope they price them more reasonable. They're great games. I recommend buying them. At the very least, Eska and Laji, that's my favorite one. So speaking of Power Rangers, which we weren't, but I'm going to pretend like we were.
Okay.
Battle for the Grid announced its second season, and they're all good picks. Now, this is a good season, but they could make it a great season with one simple step further, which I'll explain after I explain the characters. The first character is Shadow Ranger from Power Rangers SPD. That would be Deca Master from Deca Ranger, if you like tokusatsu.
I don't. Thanks.
He's the dog guy who has a sword.
Oh my god.
This is the best pick. Doggy Kruger has made it in.
Yeah, he's a big blue dog lizard man named Doggy Kruger, and people make jokes about how his giant snoot shouldn't fit in his helmet. Because he just has a normal, like, Power Rangers helmet, but he has, like, a big honking dog nose when he's not morphed. Then there's the Quantum Ranger / Time Fire from Time Ranger / Power Rangers Time Force. And the way they could make this perfect is by getting his actor to reprise him, because Quantum Ranger is Dan Southworth.
Yes.
Okay, if they don't get him, that's just sad. Like, that's the biggest missed opportunity this game could have.
If they don't have him reprising the role, it's gonna be sad. And he's doing like Wesker shit in this trailer where he's like knees you and then teleports behind you and then teleports above you and does like a helm splitter. And then the last character is Dai Shi from Power Rangers Wild Force, which I feel like is just, we have to use the coolest design and the coolest villain design in the series. Like, it's just a joke if we don't put that in at some point.
This was a game I was really worried about, just roster-wise, because you feel like we're making a Power Rangers fighting game. I think, it's just going to all be Mighty Morphin, I guess, and whatever the new show is. But then they started making decent picks, like the season pass. At launch, they brought in the Magna Defender from Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, they like kept off the Mighty Morphin stuff by using the like the alternate design for those characters from the comic.
What's the problem?
Don't pin that.
KZ, what's the issue?
It seems like someone's really passionate about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. As I said, the first entry in a multi-part saga.
Yeah. I'm also excited for the box to say that.
I am very excited for the box to say that.
Let's punch down on somebody other than KZ. Let's punch down on Epic.
Okay.
Epic took down their entire store roadmap.
Oh no!
And is like, we'll tell you the new one at GDC next year.
Jesus Christ.
That's a while.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
6
GDC
months.
like in
Yeah.
what July or something?
No, it's
No, I
in
think
March.
it's like earlier in the year. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. I almost thought it
still
was
the-
Games Conference.
That's
But
still
still,
yeah,
really
it's
long.
6 fucking months away.
Right?
Yeah, it's 6 months. Longer. No, it's about 6 months.
And they just had a huge
Yep.
release with Borderlands.
No, they still don't have a
Rental?
cart. They don't.
They don't have anything, KZ.
Think of a thing a store would have and just say it with a question mark. Check it out. If you just say a thing that should be on a normal store, but you end it with a question mark, that store will have never had that feature. Does it support credit cards? Nope, not anymore.
Coupons?
No.
Refunds?
No. Well, yes, actually, they accidentally let you keep games and then give you your money back anyway.
They probably took down the entire refund feature because of Borderlands 3.
Probably.
They did that with Hyperlight Drifter. They rolled out the cloud saves, and then cloud saves broke, and they're like, we're taking them down. No time for when they're coming back.
Oh man, that's rough.
Like, I get it. Sometimes you rush into shit and then you'll slowly like add some stuff, you know, like they rushed Fortnite's Battle Royale as fast as they could. This is 18 levels beyond it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this shit's been... The Epic Game Store started in like November, I believe, because then they did the big Game Awards push where everything's like, here's an Epic Game Store game, and we're like, oh, some competition's happening, and now it's like, fuck, can you make a cart?
And they had been working on it for like a year before then, because the Steam Spy guy had been involved for a long time.
I understand when a ship gets really big, it's hard to move it, ideally, but this is insane.
Epic isn't even that big.
Are stores really that hard?
I guess so. No,
they're not that hard. They're not easy, but they ain't that hard.
I mean, Origin has all these features. It launched with most of them.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I have to wonder, what is the critical problem here that is making it so it's impossible for them to
Somebody
give you
keeps
a fucking
emailing them,
friend
and they have to keep answering those emails, KZ.
Oh my god! The code! They can't work on the code! We keep emailing them about Fortnite.
It's all
Yandere Dev working for Epic isn't impossible, because you know who got hired by Activision this week?
Who?
The guy who made Hunt Down the Freeman.
I don't know what that is.
Right?
It's a really abysmally bad Half-Life thing that YouTubers beat up on for like 6 months. And somebody talked to him on Twitter
a
like,
lot of things that are just like ghost information.
I mean, like every site covered Hunt Down the Freeman.
The only thing with Half-Life that's extended I know about is Black Mesa and Half-Life Full Life Consequences.
Half-Life Full Life Consequences might as well be the only canon thing in the Half-Life universe.
That's true. That's very
you.
Kino. Bob,
What's up?
do you know the Fallout 76 news?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
I
trying
don't.
to make you get.
I don't.
Okay.
I'll fall into this
Okay,
pit.
Dan. Well, you're looking at the news, so you know.
I actually don't. What the hell is happening? Like, I'm
You know
saying
what, Dan?
these words,
Dan,
but I
I'll
don't
help
understand.
you with this. Dan,
Yeah.
Dan, who is Zavik?
So the Fallout 76 helmet in the special editions, there's like a power armor helmet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You know what the only thing Fallout 76, you like the one
No
thing you
way.
could say that was good about it?
Okay.
Was that it wouldn't poison you?
my God.
That turns out to no longer be true
So I'm reading
because
this
this
news.
helmet is being recalled because it's full of mold.
I'm reading this news, and when I read the word mold, I thought the mold for making the helmet. The mold
No.
in the assembly line.
Unfortunately not.
Holy
There is
shit.
an update to this news that happened later in the week, which was Bethesda making a statement saying, it's not our fucking helmet, it's GameStop's helmet.
Jesus Christ.
Where they're like,
Oh.
GameStop has their own specific Fallout power armor helmet. It's not the one we showed on stage. We didn't fuck this up, okay?
I feel bad for them because nobody's going to care.
But no
Nobody's
one's
gonna
gonna
believe
care.
that.
No one's gonna even believe them anyway.
I mean, they had to. They're the ones who had to sell the license to it.
Maybe if they weren't lying
Yeah,
through their
so-
fucking teeth nonstop, you
Right.
know, it would help
Yep.
people believe them.
It's like Randy Pitchford coming out.
Now I'm remembering the liquor bottle. That was the most pathetic thing, I think.
It was. I agree. God damn.
I don't remember the liquor bottle.
Yes.
So they showed like a Nuka Cola, like you can get rum in like a Nuka Cola bottle, and they showed like a really nice looking mock-up of like a glass bottle.
Right, right.
That turned out to be, making a really nice glass bottle turned out to be too expensive. So they bought generic bathtub swill rum, put it in unmarked glass bottles, and then put a shitty plastic shell around it, vaguely shaped like the Nuka Cola bottle.
It is the absolute
that's-
worst you can imagine when he uses those words. It is the cheapest looking fucking plastic wrap. Like, you would never think that would make a glass bottle look better. It is insanely bad.
That's
Also, yes, that rum is trash. That rum is gutter trash. That rum might as well be just fucking sugar that's gone bad.
Oh no, Dan! Did your brother buy that?
$80
No,
a
okay.
bottle.
Yeah, $80 a bottle, Bob.
80.
Fuck.
Okay, I was
So
gonna
about
say,
why
well,
no one trusts them.
yeah, that's insane. Like the having a like that high a margin for it, that should be a good looking bottle.
A great looking bottle.
That's like the same price as that Skull Head or Crystal Skull whiskey.
Okay,
isn't it?
Crystal Skull vodka is like $40, maybe less. You could find it for at some places, and it has a really great looking Crystal Skull, and the vodka's not terrible. It's mid. So paying $80 for a plastic mold around shit rum is insane.
When Dan Aykroyd, the boy trustworthy.
Are there any like Western like game publishers that do like a special edition where the quality of everything they give you is good? I'm just unaware. So I didn't know if it's specifically a Bethesda thing. Because I know Square stuff's typically alright because they just give you action figures.
Like so many of them just don't do it. Like their super high end edition is just here's DLC,
Here's digital goods.
Well, like the Borderlands 3 one had like a really shitty looking box.
Oh yeah, that they did that. Oh man, I'm remembering some NBA one that came with some awful locker.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was insane.
That seems to be like one of the more popular ones where they give you like a really terrible looking box.
The MLB one is just like, here's a nice hat, which is an overpriced hat, but the hat's good quality. So I can't be that upset.
Bob's like, it is a nice hat, thank you.
Like they put a metal plate on it with the logo from MLB. I'm like, that looks cool.
I'm not a fan of MLB, but I do like hats.
And I think this is the last piece of news here. The Nostalgia Critic came out with an album. He recorded it on an on-camera mic. I don't know why.
How dare you bring Doug Walker into this podcast?
I will absolutely show.
Hasn't he been in enough podcasts?
I will absolutely shame Doug Walker for fucking recording an album on what sounds like a fucking yak bat.
He recorded on his Nokia phone. It's fine.
He couldn't be
you can
arsed
buy
to
that album.
because clearly he outsourced the album. There's no way him or anyone he knows could do recordings of drums that sound anywhere near that decent.
No, yeah, he hired like an actual person.
Right. But he couldn't be arsed to go to their place to record the vocals. That's what it tells me. That's sad. That's so fucking sad. What a piece of shit album. Also, if you think me bitching about the production values is petty, the album is a parody of The Wall. Who in 2019 is asking for a parody of The Wall by Pink Floyd?
Do we have a year on that album?
What, The Wall?
Like
the
yeah,
late
70s.
70s. Yeah, it's like 78, 79. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck is with Doug
So
Walker.
he got Rob Scallon to help him.
Yeah, and the last track on the album, completely inexplicably, is a cover of the SpongeBob theme featuring Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
Yeah, the lead singer of Slipknot was in the review this was a companion piece to, because he reviews that album. It's 40 minutes long. It's basically another Kick-Assia.
That's awful.
I want to preempt the comments. No. Hey, comments. No.
So, with all of the news out of the way and me getting done making fun of Doug Walker for apparently not having enough money for mics to afford something better than a yak back.
If we're doing last minute making fun of people cruelly, can I make fun of Kotaku?
Let me check the time of year. Yes, you can do that any time of year. Go right ahead, Mr. Field.
Okay, one of the contributors to Kotaku put up an article about video game porn. And it was a really bad article that's basically just, there's a reason KZ's deflating. Because it was one of those, I want to write about myself, but let me frame it as an article because I'm self-absorbed. Anyway, they included pornography that they had MS Paint censored, and one of them was of Misty from Pokemon, you know, the 10-year-old girl getting her throat blasted.
Holy shit.
And they just MS Paint censored the dick.
Oh.
And everybody was like, and there was a couple more like that, and everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then fucking Steven Totio woke up. And is like, oh fuck, what did they do? I'm not a real editor, what did they do?
How does this get passed?
All I saw
editors
was I saw
don't
people
look at these things.
Yeah, they don't.
I saw people talking about like a reset era thread about it, because that was the first reason I heard about it, because I woke up late. And the thread was just titled, so did Kotaku just accidentally post child porn?
It wasn't accidentally.
Right?
It was very
Yeah, it
intentional.
wasn't accidentally.
It was censored though, so it's fine.
And like it got taken down, and there was an editor's note. We had posted some pictures. We're now aware that a description would be enough.
What? Whoa! Let me describe this child porn. That's way better. Holy shit! How do these places keep doing this?
Nothing is going to top when Waypoint.
Yeah, I
rest
knew
in
it.
peace, when Waypoint was just like, here's erotic fan fiction I wrote on the main page of the site. Here you go. That's my article.
Bazinga.zone.
They let Dr.
And
Aggro
then,
write an article for him.
And then somebody was like,
Sasuke was even more naked than usual.
did you just let one of your contributors post erotic fan fiction where they forcibly feminize someone one day after posting an article about how horrible the industry is to transgender people? And then what the fuck is his name? Austin Walker went, uh-oh, and apologized publicly.
Wow, this is great. So in the next week here at GigaBoots, we're going to be doing a Detroit Let's Play. We're going to have 3 more parts of that come out. That's probably...
I'm really glad we're done with making that, because the willpower to go back to that game would not have happened.
See, this is funny because I'm still editing it. Bob's speaking from a position of privilege.
It's true.
I adore Bob's reactions, because so much is him going, what? And then just not really speaking about it, just incredulous about what's happening on screen.
It's fucking incredible that at one point we go, I think it's part 4 or 5, we go into a bar, and in the bar there is a sign, and all the sign says is American football. A bar
That was
in
it.
Detroit.
He was so unbelievable. You stun-locked him with that.
Jesus
Between
Christ.
that and Bob being really confused at how this poor house has an Android, but they don't have a dryer. They still use a clothesline.
I mean, maybe they don't have room for a dryer. Oh, no, wait, it's David Cage, so everybody has an unbelievably massive home for
Oh,
no
yeah, they
reason.
have a laundry room. They go to a laundry room.
Yeah, there's a laundry room. It's 2-floor building. It's a pretty nice. It's a pretty nice place, aside from all the meth that makes that dude come and beat his daughter.
They can afford antidepressants. You put them in the same place you have your gun.
Yes. To be
Anyway.
fair, I'm not sure if that was an antidepressant or antipsychotic, but it sure was drugs that was like, warning, may make you want to kill people. Good Lord. Anyway, that Let's Play is delightful, and people seem to be enjoying it, so I am glad we will be continuing that. I don't know what next Friday's or the coming Friday stream is going to be, but in case you missed it, we should have an upload of last Friday's stream, which was PlayStation 1 Retro Roulette Part 2. Hopefully we get no Aerosmith games set in this time.
Don't worry, I think there's only one Aerosmith game.
That's good. And that's gonna be it from us. I don't want to announce anything else, even though we'll be working on other things, because don't want to jinx it.
Yep.
How about you, KZ? What you got going on?
I'm taking a break from uploading for the week so that I can get videos stocked up, because these podcasts smash 2 days for me, so I have to make sure I get those done as a priority, which means just taking the week off.
That's good.
But I've been working on videos, getting ahead as much as possible. Feel.
I'm still preparing for content we'll be doing in the future.
Yeah.
Mysterious content.
Okay, good. I'll take it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots Podcast Patreon, and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future.
The spooky executive producers for the month of pre-October are Vincent Poverk, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dryzart, Shadow in the Darkness, Red Blaze 27, and Third Birthday. Thank you very much to our pumpkin spiced executive producers. And also these guys. If you like this video and want to support us, then head on over to our prematurely haunted Patreon at patreon.com/GigaBoots and become an executive producer today.